Darkness in me and it's quite amazing. Life and death is no mystery and I want to taste it. Step aside of my mind and you'll find curiosity, animosity, high velocity, like the prophesied meditation. Reminisce on my wonder years and I wonder here. Sentiments of my words ain't been so sincere. It's intimate to my nerve that I just persevere. The big thought of falling off disappear to my faith. They say their heaven's real. Analyze my demise, I say I'm super anxious. Recognize I deprive this feeling, then embrace it. Vandalizing these walls only if they can talk. Conversations on contemplate to my dark thoughts. Looking down on my soul now. Tell me I'm in control now. Tell me I can live long and I can live wrong and I can live right and I can sing song and I can unite with you that I love, you that I like. Look at my life and tell me I fight. Is that final destination? Is that fancy information? Is that fancy inspiration? Is that crack the installation? Is that quantum jumping, that fist pumping, that bomb detonation? Please don't bomb my nation. Environment fluid waiting. I got my control when I'm here. You gon' hate me when I'm gone. Ain't no blood pumping, no fear. I got hope inside of my bone. This that life beyond your own life. This ain't physical for mankind. This that out of body experience. No coincidence, you been died. It's your death.
Heyo. What is up? It is casino day today. Get your gambles on. Last one of the month before we crown a wing champ. Neo's here. He's looking good. We got a little treaty for him. A little beef jerky. I don't know how you can see that. It's greasy. Smells pretty good, bud. You want that one? Oh, okay. Good boy. Okay, let him eat that. God, the frame rate's still fucked on that camera. I don't know. It just started. I don't know. Maybe I'll reinstall the driver that runs it. I don't know. Anyway, Serenius, how you doing? Sorry, let me catch up. So, UC Superman was first. Bag in here second. Scaper right behind him. Dugio in here. Thank you guys for popping in. It is casino day. Who's on top of the wing leaderboard? Dugio trying to run it back with over almost 500,000 wings. Somebody has to catch him. You guys could try dueling, Dugio. Charlie, how you doing? And Superman goes all in and is out. Well, you have the rest of today. Today, we're not going to be doing a super long stream. Makes me sad. But I don't really have a choice, unfortunately. I need to go with Yoonjung later, and we need to look at some property and, I don't know, try and figure out if it's going to work for our business or not. So I can't stream super long today, but let's definitely get in some standard. I was going to do a draft, but let's just play standard since we're not going to be going for that long. Tarkir Dragonstorm pack. Yeah, sure. And Crow's Nest, what's up? Crispers, how you doing? I wouldn't even buy biltong that looks like that. Never mind feeding it to my dog. Oh, it's good. Biltong's good too, but no, these are good dog treats, don't worry. Plus, you're looking at it on a little webcam there, so probably doesn't look as amazing as it does in real life. Green or black, white or red. White or red kind of sucks here. Let's play the Reanimator deck one more time. We'll see how it's going. Got your gold pack? Oh. What? I got a gold pack? What do you mean? Got my gold pack? I don't know. I missed it maybe. Still playing RimWorld? Nice. The ship must grow. It never stops, right? Okie dokie. Play. Sure. Okay, so we're messing with this deck still. I still haven't changed anything with the Reanimator deck. Oh, Neo took off. Take his camera away. Buying the pack for 900. Oh, for like, but What? Gold pack? You mean the wheel? Is that what you're talking about? I still don't know what you mean. You mean the wheel? That thing? Giving you... I don't know what the gold packs I thought you only get when you buy packs. Alright, let's bookworm here. I could Wistfulness pop that gene pollinator. It's kind of tempting, but... I want the watery grave. I'll ditch the tomb. Yeah, I don't know. I thought buying a pack only counts toward your wheel. The rare wheel. Is there something else that I'm missing? Some other golden pack you're talking about? I don't know what you mean. Marvel's Rivals, nice. Marvel Rivals. Yeah, did the metagame change or something? I guess they're always releasing new characters, right? There's probably some new dork. Okay, let's Wistfulness blue. Oh, I can't blue. I think I'm probably gonna die now. Blue. Yeah, that is not gonna do it. We are gonna get steamrolled by Crater Hoof here, I'm pretty sure. Arden in the Arden. I'll discard Bookworm. Could discard a land there. It's tempting, but yeah, I don't know what the meta in Marvel Rivals is. Are there characters that are just clearly better than the others? I don't know what the tournament balance is like. But I imagine, like, if it's a team v team, like, I don't know, is it 3v3, 5v5? It's the same as, like, the regular games, or is it, like, a different format? If it's just the same as regular Marvel Rivals, it's, what, 5v5, right? So that could lead to some interesting team compositions. Is there, like, it's like building a deck in Magic, right? It doesn't matter how good your best individual card is. They all have to kind of work together. So what's the best squad of 5? Are they all similar? Like, they all play, like, three characters out of 5 are the same across every pro team? And then it's just like 1 or 2 characters. I'm curious about those kind of games, how it works. But Federation ship in Star Trek, nice. Gonna be streaming the Pro Tour? Yeah, Bag, for sure. Yes, absolutely. Pokey Comp is still goated, and Dive is still decreased until further notice. I don't know what that means. Are you talking about Pokemon? Is Pikachu in Marvel Rivals now? What is Pokey Comp? Poke comp? I don't know what poke is referring. Comp, I assume you mean competitive. Points to wings? Oh, did I miss it? Oh, yeah, hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Thanks for the reminder, Superman, I missed it. Casino day, things move quickly here. So, they say oops. Yeah, they floated. Oh, what the fuck? What? Oh, I'm an idiot. I grabbed the wrong land. I wasn't planning on playing a Blooming Marsh there. Oh, Jesus Christ. I could have Caveroed into Arden here. Yeah, well, I guess I lose now for sure. I thought I was done last turn, and I think my opponent misclicked, and then I just clicked too fast, grabbed the wrong land, and I lose the game. Welcome to streaming. Okay, you can go. Colin, what's up? Start as you mean to go on. All in. There you go. This isn't Method Man? No, haven't listened to Method Man in a long time. The Run the Jewels featuring Method Man song that I have. I sometimes put that on when I do before I stream or whatever, but trust you guys dueling. Dugio. Why are you guys fighting? It's like you guys are the second in command, third in command in the army, and you're fighting with each other over like a promotion. Attack the general. 6v6. So there's a battlefield. Oh, it's 6v6. Oh, I thought Overwatch always was 5v5. Is Overwatch not 5v5? Oh. Poke, like poke. Okay. Poke comp? What does that mean? Still doesn't mean anything to me. What is poke comp? So, kill small creatures. I'm gonna take Requiting Hex, Spell Snare. Spell Snare. No. Not Spell Snare. Stormbrood, not bad. It kills something small and kills the Graveyard Hate later. Harvester, not bad as well. Harvester's better than not bad. Harvester's great. Deceit comes out. And what else do I want here? Overlord? Oko, no. Intimidation tactics? Maybe a couple. We'll try. Well, no. Tactics... I don't know. It's not even great, because they can just tutor up whatever using their tutor spell, right? Like, you can't take away the tutor spell. So, I don't know. I don't love a Thoughtseize that can only hit creatures here, but... why do you help them? Who, my opponents? It's not on purpose. It's because oh, I've got to give Superman wings, and oh, let me check this, and blah blah blah, and then oh shit, I clicked. And now I'm not blaming Superman here. Obviously, it's not their fault, but it's because I'm distracted by streaming. If I was sitting here not talking, not looking at chat, not gambling, not doing bets, not giving wings, not doing any of that shit, I wouldn't make as many mistakes. Shocker, I know. It's hard to believe, but it's true. I think people think that's an excuse that streamers use. They think it's, you know, yeah, sure, this guy's just not good at magic, and he's trying to cover up his his inadequacies. But, you know, those people are people of the land. Rural folks. You know, morons. I'll keep that one. Help them win the wing contest. Oh, yeah, because why do I help them? Because I cheer for the underdog, Dugio. Why does anybody cheer for the underdog? You don't cheer for the general. You cheer for the underdog. Oh, oops. I fucked up again. Oh, no, I had to play the Surveil first, so I couldn't double blue here on turn 2, even if I wanted to. Unless I want these to only make blue mana. Alright. You're winning. You've been the wing champ more than anybody else, dude. So guess what, buddy? You are the bad guy. That's how that goes. Welcome. Welcome to what it's like to be the one that everybody wants to see lose. That's you. Attack Dugio, everybody. Duel him. Challenge him to duels for wings over and over and over. It's the only way to weaken his position. Yeah, I know you're joking. I know you're not, like, seriously mad. Why are you helping them? But, you know, come on. You don't ask that. you know why. Poke comps, just sit back spamming. Oh, so it's not, it's like sniping. Okay. That's poking? I guess in a game with, yeah. Should I just... Oh, they can eat my bringer. Okay. So let's just kill this. And I'll discard Harvester here. My favorite Method Man track is ironically Method Man by Wu-Tang. Nice. They eat whatever. Doesn't matter. And let's... Oh, I can't do anything. Okay. Yeah. Why am I telling him to duel him? You know why. Now everybody's dueling, and he's winning. God damn it! You guys are supposed to take Dugio down. He's the Zeppelin of the wing leaderboard. He's winning again. Oh, what? He just took 400,000 almost off you, Charlie. God damn it! Oh, you guys you're building him up. Rosie, you're our only hope. Where is Rosie? Kind of like just reanimating the Harvester here, right? Eat their board. Rosie, kill him! Kill Dugio! Take his wings, goddammit. No, if you go all in, I mean, you are far behind. Like, if this was a poker tournament, he's got you, like, more than double number of chips here. But I'm gonna save that to discard to Triumph, I think. But that's still a huge chunk out of his stack. Think about it. If you're at what are you at? 322. If you gain 322 and he loses 322, suddenly you're in first place. One all in, and that's it. But you have to risk it all on one duel. You gave up? No, you look at the top wings. You're still very high up. Ignore my total. I'm the bank. So it's Dugio first with 810. Rosie, you're in second with 322. Nano's got 121. Bag is rounding out the top 4 with a hundo. Any of you guys can go all in against Duge. Or, yeah, Dugio could even do like a 200k, slot. That would be crazy, but... What happened? Oh, they stifled my trigger. Yeah, sure. Again, I'm not paying attention here. I don't care. Okay. Wait. I'm gonna double blue this first. What am I doing? God. I hate the way the auto tapper obviously is brain dead. We all know that, but it's particularly stupid when it comes to the well, okay, I'll toss another bringer. It's very stupid when it comes to the elementals. Fuck's sakes. Ridiculous. They have 1 mana up here. They could spell snare. Still gonna do it now, I think. Let's kill this. And I guess I'll ditch Arden. Sure. You can duel. Duel him. You just say duel. Yeah, Charlie typed it there. I feel bad, Rosie's just like, I don't want to do this. Everybody's like, you're our champion. Like picking her up, putting it on their shoulders. Everybody's chanting your name. Rosie's. She's like, I don't want to. I never asked for this. She's never going to participate in the wing race again now. We've just put her on a pedestal, and now she's our only hope. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. What if she loses? She's basically going to be a pariah. No. Dugio takes down Bag. He's unstoppable.
Dugio, you stop that right now. You understand? You will lose the next game. I'm gonna rig the system. I'm the dark, shadowy cabal of financial brokers that rules the world.
All right, here we go. Oh, no! Oh, Dugio? Okay, Dugio, you know what? That's it.
Time to take matters into my own hands.
What the fuck?
Speaking of what the fuck, nice draws. Unfortunately, no more Caveros.
That's real. That lives with us on Earth.
You're already a pariah? Why is that? I'm probably gonna die here. No attacks. Alright, Dugio.
Time to pick on someone your own size, Douche. Let's go.
Let me show you guys how it's done. Oh, I should have named a weapon. Easy!
Now remember your place, Dugio. Don't make me come down there again.
Trying to focus on my content here, and these guys... No, you gotta come. Dugio's out of control. Dugio needs to be stopped. We can't do it. That's how. Streamer luck. See? Rigged. Uh-oh, he's got the 888 total there. That's like the lucky number in China, right? 888, or the UK is like this too. I'm dead, so go. Sultai. I should be able to crush this deck, but not a great draw this game. Can they not kill me here? Yeah, attack with everybody, big guy. Streamer hacks, yeah. I was gonna say, I'm not... Did I double up? I guess I went to 600 or something, but you should still have more than me. You have over 1 million when I dueled you, so yeah, you're down to 888, whatever now. Dear Lord. Colin, I mean, for those of you who've been to my channel since year 1, there were insane battles. 1 month, there were these Champster, one of the guys who used to play Codenames with us, and another dude, Hotshots, who hasn't been back in my channel in a long time, since basically after I got banned from Twitch. But he challenged... Champster had a very comfortable lead. He had like 1.4 million wings at the end of the month, and it was the last casino day. And... or it was the last day of the month, and Hotshot was just like, duel me. He had like 50,000 versus 1.4 mil were the stack sizes, and Hotshots just went all in. He won, went up to 100, went all in, double to 2, double to 4, double to 8, like passed he won like 4 all-ins in a row, and Cham kept accepting the duel because he's like, I just need to win one of these to put him out of his misery. Like, how is he still? Surely the next one I'm gonna win, and he just lost and lost and lost and lost. It was so funny, and Hotshots ended up winning the Wing Champ that month, and that was back when the Wing Champ was worth $50. I would send somebody a $50 gift card for Wing Champ every single month. That eventually became untenable. Well, like when I got banned, I had to stop all that. I was just like, what, like. All that, you know, I basically gave away a lot of money to people to show them, like, look, like, this is, I appreciate you guys being in here. Thank you for my, like, the people who like being in here when I'm a small nobody streamer, you know, like, you are the greatest people out there. You're the ones I feel like I owe you, you know? Which is silly, I know. And I even heard people say, and, you know, I didn't even, this didn't occur to me, but I heard people say things like, you know, you shouldn't give away so many prizes. It makes it look like you're trying to buy your followers and stuff. And I was like, what? Like, that didn't even occur to me that would be something people thought. I'm like, obviously, I'm not stupid enough to think I can buy followers. Like I'm, you know, I'm some of these people who pay bots to like give them a bunch of fake follows or something. No, this is my way of showing thank you. I'm trying to get this thing off the ground. I come from, you know, I've owned my own business. I've a business background. So when you launch a product, you give away free samples. You promote. That's how you get the word out, is giving away some of your product, giving people discounts when you first launch your service or whatever it is you're doing. But man, people did not see that. Anyway, it didn't matter. We ended up having lots of great people in here at the end, but the banning basically made a lot of them disappear, I think. And switching to only magic after that too. A bunch of people disappeared. I think I have to wistfulness here. So I need green. So I'm going to have to name green here with this, or name elemental so I can make green, whatever. Green. Pop the talents. And no attacks. Trigger, draw. Bringer. Alright. You can white, well, yeah. I know you could do that, Colin, but it's like a police officer going, I have a gun. I could just shoot you right now. You're like, yeah, I guess you could, technically. Is that what you're gonna do? Colin's just like, I could ban you. I could just fucking ban you right now. Alright, Thoughtseize you. We're assholes? No. I mean, people can be, but so can I. I'm an asshole sometimes. Like, you know my sense of humor. Some people find it offensive. They don't like, you know, I push sometimes. Sometimes I push too far, and you know, that's on me. But I guess I'll take one of these stupid things. But I find extreme humor funnier. I find just that kind of stuff in general funny. Dark humor, things like that. Like, I don't know. I think the milk toast kind of, you know, it's why I hate television. Like, you know, broadcast television was so, like, lame. Stuff like Big Bang Theory. I'm sorry if there are people who love stuff like that in the chat. You love whatever you love. That's okay. Don't feel bad. But me, when I watch a show like that, it's so bad. It's so unfunny. And it's because they have to appeal to the widest possible audience when you're broadcast on Channel 5 back in the day, before the internet, you know? It was lame. And then Netflix comes out and starts making actual, you know, and HBO. HBO was probably the first one who started making rated R, like, serious dramas, and like a TV series that was like super, you know, well written, well acted, produced, and everything else. Not for your average TV. I mean, Game of Thrones, look how much frontal nudity. That was the most popular TV show of all time. It might still be. I think it still has the record for most, the highest number of concurrent viewers watching it when every episode that came out. That was an extremely graphic show, but those are the shows that are really good. Like, those are the shows that, you know, back in the day we couldn't have that on Channel 5 because everybody from 5-year-old Billy and Sally to 70-year-old grandpa is watching the same thing. So you've got to appeal to not only the kids but the grandparents and everybody in between. Like, no, too much. Harvester's not bad here. That's when you end up gutting your product and making a really shitty TV show that's not funny, that's not, you know, interesting, it's not provocative, because it's boring, because you're just trying to appeal to everybody. It's, yeah, no bueno. Artifact or creature? I guess Spell Snare is pretty good. I probably should try playing Spell Snare. I'll take out 1 Deceit here. Sorry, catching up with you guys. Wiping his total. Well, you'd have to go through stream elements, yeah. Politics can make a lot of people assholes, yeah. Metagame breakdown sure is very green. Which one? Metagame breakdown. I don't know what you're referring to, Acute. I am but a lowly wings peasant. Now you're a wing peon. Penny slots, yeah. Dugio, 888,000. Morgoat, you're our next hope. Morgoat and Candyman combined can maybe take him down. Oh, Rosie gets 10k. I keep. You DM'd me? Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, let me finish this and I'll check it. I guess I'll lead with Watery Grave here. It's awkward because if I lead with Grave, I can't Wistfulness on 2, blow up enchantment. Like if they go Artist Talent here, that could be a problem. Let's see, I'm just gonna close some stuff in the background here. Annoying programs that seem to always want to run themselves, leave themselves running. Go. You DM me on Discord. Okay, yeah, stuff like that. Dead baby jokes will never get old. But of course, God, like, you know, those kind of jokes can push people's buttons in all the wrong ways. Yep, I get burned immediately. That's what I was hoping I would not see. I should probably kill Gran here, actually, but let's see if I can take a monument. And they have a monument. Perfect. Okay. Are you guys ready for Colin's horrible, horrible joke? What's worse than 1 dead baby in a bin? In a garbage can. 1 dead baby in 7 bins. Just a little Cornwall humor. No. Where are you from, Colin? No, actually, don't even... I'm like, dox yourself right now, please. I can't remember what town he's from exactly, but that's what they think is funny over there. He's basically a soccer hooligan. I said Cornwall. I'm way off. I'm sure I'm way off there. Dox I will not do. Okay, fair. A little British dark humor. It's more refined than our dark humor, but. No one does dark humor like the French. Gallows humor. The guillotine humor. Yep. Okay, that's awkward. What can I do here? If I go green, yeah, I can Cavero, kill Artist Talent, draw 2, discard. That's pretty good. Let's do that. Scoop it up. Oof. Devastating. 3 hours away. Hey, Brimmer, how you doing, buddy? The French are a joke themselves? Oh, come on, Colin. We know you're British, but you don't have to go down that road. They're not jokes. Hey, I mean, Americans could take a page out of France's book for sure right now. French people know how to protest, okay? Nobody protests like the French. Nobody. It's hard, though, in a big country. Like, I mean, France is a much smaller geographical nation. Like, it's much easier for people to drive 3 hours and all meet in the same place than a Canada or the US or, you know, a massive country, Australia. Like, you can't have the kind of rallies and things like that that you can have in smaller, you know, European countries, which does make it, you know, harder to organize that kind of stuff. But France is, they do protests. They don't fuck around. Do not need. But Colin, don't attack them. Wow, the Dragons deck. Yeah, I remember this. Should I shock myself? think I want to go black, so that I can, yeah, let's do this. So that I can Thoughtseize them if I draw the other guy. If I play Breeding Pool there, I guess I would have to play this name Elemental. I don't want to do that yet if I don't have to. Sure, that doesn't matter. Yep. I could Sandbag Bringer just in case they have main deck Graveyard Hate, which a lot of these decks do play, but get rid of government officials in a way that makes my hair in our dream. Yeah. Well, it's called accountability. Yeah, a lot of other countries have it, but right now the States is suffering from a distinct lack of... okay, spell please. 110 rhythm decks. Oh, you're talking about the Pro Tour. Oh, I have no idea what it looks like. I haven't looked at any of that stuff. I'm busy with other shit. Tomorrow, we will be watching the Pro Tour, and that's when I'm going to probably look at deck lists and whatever else has come out. Maybe if I find a link, I'll post it after stream today, but... I was busy this morning. No time to look at anything like that. But rhythm decks, yeah, I'm not super surprised that it's the most played deck. It's probably one of the best decks. It did just win the RC that happened the week before the Pro Tour. I mean, that should have told you it's going to be probably one of the most played decks, right? But I imagine Reanimator is going to be one of the highest win rate decks. We'll see. Yeah, Brimir, I know. It's everybody, literally everywhere is kind of looking and going, like, yeah, just, wow, like, how did we get here? This is wild. Like, is this mostly, it's Russia and, you know, China and places like that waging disinformation campaigns for decades and winning and having a much more powerful impact doing that than dropping any bomb or any terrorist attack or 9/11. 9/11, if Osama bin Laden you could have showed him the future and said, look, you don't need to do this kind of shit. That's 80s shit. The plane jacking and the all that. Come on. That's old and busted. All you have to do now is create a bunch of bot accounts and flood social media pretending to be other Americans saying, yeah, we want this. And just, you know, cause division in their society. In free societies where everybody has a voice, all you have to do is amplify the ones who push your narrative, and that you just take over the whole country that way. Like that's what happened. You literally have a Russian asset in the White House, you know, directing. Tulsi Gabbard is straight up like a Russian asset, and she's National Intelligence Director or whatever, National NSA Director or whatever the intelligence, one of the intelligence services. Bananas. Like, you can't make that shit up. It's crazy. But I don't think anybody anticipated the impact the internet and more specifically social media was going to have on politics. I mean, it's cool when Facebook was being used by, you know, a lot of Arab nations during like the Arab Spring and stuff like that to fight for democracy. But it goes both ways. Bad actors can use it too to destroy democracy. And the average person's too stupid to see what's happening until it's far too late, right? Everybody's like, look how many people are still on Twitter and TikTok and shit like that. Like, oh yeah, but I love TikTok. But I like watching the videos. Okay, well then, if you have no say when somebody tells you you're the problem, you can't say shit. You are part of the problem. Sorry, I know it doesn't sound nice, but I'm gonna take intimidation tactics in this matchup. I think we'll take out Harvester. All right, then that's it. Do it. It's crazy. Anyway, I hope things get figured out. I hope, you know, people don't stand for it. There's already a lot of people, you know, your most powerful tool is this. I mean, the videos, the shit that's coming out, it's amazing that everybody out there has a video camera in their hand at all times. Because, man, I bet you if there wasn't straight up actual video of people getting executed, you know that most people who support the regime that's currently running the US would not believe that it was an execution. They would all absolutely just, you know, take their spoon-fed medicine from Fox News or whatever. Oh, they were terrorists. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're always going to call them terrorists. And then we see the video. We're like, oh no, the terrorists are the government terrorizing the people. Holy shit. It's right on video. Like, you can't really deny the video evidence right in your face. I imagine soon enough when AI video like Sora and stuff gets good enough, then it'll be easy to fake this. And that, you know, and then real videos will be easily called into question as fake because people will know that there are fake videos that are very good out there. Not going in a good direction, but... What? USA went into Scotland and stole two... In Scotland? I naturally don't like the French. You can be bigger than your biases, Colin. You can get past those biases. I believe in you. It's not... You weren't born hating the French. I guarantee it. 15... Okay, so not so bad. Yeah, yeah. That's interesting that the Bant deck is seeing that much play. Okay, take it easy, Colin. Hi, Goo, what's up? The French suck? Why do the French suck, exactly? We're talking about the reason we started talking about France is because I said nobody protests like the French. If Americans protested like the French, all your problems would have been solved last month. Donald Trump would be sitting in a jail cell or dangling from a gallows or something if you guys did it the way the French do it. I'm gonna name human here, but it's much easier to do that in a small country. That's what I was saying. It's easier to do it in a country like actually, you know what? I'm gonna take deceit, or should I just take another Cavero? I'm gonna take deceit here. I think. No attacks. You need the land. Okay, let's try this. But I ate everyone. You hate everyone. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry. That sounds like a sad existence, but try not to hate anybody. It's probably better for you. You'll live longer. Or I don't know. Sometimes hateful people do end up living a long time, but I think hateful people, like people who are just always scared, really is. People who hate are just full of fear. They fear the other. They fear the things that people tell them to fear. They fear all kinds of stuff. There are some things that you probably should fear. Why the fuck tap that, you piece of shit? God, the auto tapper's so terrible. You know, I fear stupid people taking, you know, power and letting our countries and governments be ruled by fear. The only thing I fear is fear itself. I fear the people who are controlled by their fear. Sounds ironic, but it's the only thing really to be scared of is people who are scared all the time. People who are very religious. They're scared of going to hell. They're scared of whatever. They'll believe whatever the priest tells them because they're scared shitless. Same with people who grew up in a very strict household, very authoritarian rules. You know, when they do autopsies on people like that, they look at their brains and go, holy shit. Let's see here. I need to put the seat in the yard. No, yeah, I should have done that last turn. I didn't realize. Because I need to Cavero here bounce Clarion Conqueror, right? But it's great existence. Sociopathy is a great life. That's a pretty fucked up thing to say, Acute. I think you're just trying to be edgy right now. I don't think you actually believe that. But no, sociopathy is not a great life. You spend most of your life being hated by others, and you know, and feared. I don't even know. People who are sociopaths are fucked up. Obviously, very fucked up people. So I again, the only thing, I don't know how you become a sociopath. A lot of times you have to be a very damaged human being to get to that point, right? But I die. Sorry to hear that. Okie dokie. Unlucky. They had Rip the turn before I was going to go off. They drew it. I didn't draw any Thought Seizes to get their Rip out of their hand early. Try one more time, and then once this daily's done, I'm going to switch to Jeskai and get my other daily there. But anyway, it's crazy times. It's just people full of fear. Look at this guy. I keep. Okay. Alright, here we go. I guess I'm gonna Deceit first over the Bookworm here? Probably Deceiving. Yeah. Bookworm's great when I have something huge in my hand I want to discard, but I'm not at that point yet. Okay, no more lands, please. Show me the money. Fuck is this? Okay, I'll take this. This the Teamer Battle Crier deck? Dear God, didn't this die a lonely death months ago, this deck? I thought this was gone completely from the metagame. Again, it's Arena. Nobody has infinite wildcards. I guess some people are still playing that deck. I'm gonna actually play a Shockland. I'm gonna discard this Blooming Marsh at some point. Get Breeding Pool into play. Okay. Too many lands. Too many lands. I've drawn all lands this game. Yeah, I kept Bookworm, Triumph, and Elemental in my hand, right? So I haven't drawn a spell yet. Give me a spell, please. Alex, how you doing, buddy? Didn't get lumped in with psychopathy too often. Oh yeah, no, those are two separate things, but sociopaths are not good people. They're very damaged human beings. A lot of people are both sociopathic and psychopath. So like the dark triad personality types, they overlap a lot. That's why they're called the dark triad personality types, right? Yeah, psychopathy. But psychopathy can also be learned. It's not just genetic. There's no genetic component to psychopathy that is universal. You know, people can become psychopaths through the, all kinds of things happening to them as they age. This is not good. If I kill this thing... Nah, I should save it, right? Pass. Uh-huh. Okay, at least I get a chonker in the yard here. But... yeah. But I mean, regardless of whether we're talking psychopath or sociopath, neither of them is a good thing to be. Or the people who are, those kind of people, I think even the ones that amass wealth, like you could be a sociopath and become filthy rich. In fact, it's a common trait among filthy rich people to be sociopathic in a way. That's how they became rich, because they do not give a shit about anybody else. They have no empathy for other human beings. They lack the ability to... put themselves in other people's shoes, to understand suffering. Don't really give a shit about that. Let's kill it, though. Lost this. Those kind of people can still amass wealth and stuff, so I think other people look at them and think that's something to be admired, or they admire their way of doing things, and they think that's how you have to be to become successful, quote-unquote, in life. But I contend that a lot of sociopaths, even those filthy rich ones, wow, do not live great lives despite having all the wealth in the world, because that kind of mental disease that they have is never sated. It's never, they aren't just gonna change their, be happy once they have everything. They continue to need more. That it's like a bottomless pit that needs to be filled, right? But I don't know. A lot of that stuff comes from, again, fear and power over other people and stuff like that. What's a good way to put it? It's like when you look at the Trump administration, you look at all the things happening in the U.S. right now, and it's almost like, how can people support this? How does another human being support cruelty, to your fellow humans? And it's like, well, it's not them supporting the cruelty. What they're supporting is a display of power and control over the things that they fear, right? Like, people fear some other thing, whether it's a group of people, whether it's whatever it is. Like, fear has been instilled in you at some point, and now you see somebody, a strong man, come along and say, "This is, I'm gonna hurt these people that you fear. I'm gonna." Do bad things to them, etc., control them, exert power over them. And that's what people cheer on. That's what they're supporting, right? They're not supporting the individual acts of cruelty, but they're supporting the display of power and control over the things that they fear. it makes them feel better about their own, you know, fears and everything. It's why a serial killer or a rapist or a child molester will do what they do. They were molested, they were raped as a child, and now the way they deal with that fear and shame and whatever else they're carrying with them from that, they do it by exerting power over others in that situation. It makes them feel less inadequate or whatever it was, you know, back in the day. Yep, I guess I die. It's really interesting dynamic, psychologically speaking, but I think a lot of the people who are out there supporting this stuff still don't understand this. Like, they don't understand themselves, right? They don't think too deeply about why do you hate this particular group of people? What has a gay person ever done to you specifically? Do you even know any gay people? You probably do, you just don't realize they're gay. But or you know, a trans athlete, or a Jewish person, or whatever. Like, people will hate groups of people for no reason. They don't even realize why. It's because, yeah, you fear or whatever, something that somebody told you about this group. Now it makes you feel better when they get hurt, because it's, you know, now your fear is like assuaged in a way, right? Yeah, get them. Oh, good. Somebody's getting the bad guys in their head, whatever the bad guy happens to be. I guess I'll take tactics here. Sure. Just nice to not care in a day and age where good news is more and more a myth. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening in the world. There always has been, but I'm a firm believer in, you know, if you want things to get better, you can't stick your head in the sand. You can't pretend that this stuff doesn't exist. And sadly, a lot of people prefer to do that. It's easy. I understand the temptation to hide away under your bed, to not engage in politics, to not pick sides, especially America, right? It's very two-dimensional. But other countries, we have a lot of different political parties that you could believe in all kinds of different things and fall anywhere on the spectrum politically. But you can't ignore it. Like, if you ignore it, the people who want to take advantage of you and exploit you, they win. They get to do whatever they want because you're letting them. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I just can't. But I was raised, you know, I was raised by parents who ran away from their country. My parents' parents, my grandparents, fled their country of origin, of birth, where their families had lived for generations, because it was a fascist dictatorship with secret police and all the other stuff that goes along with it. And they were sick of it. And they thought, you know, I don't want my children to grow up in a country like this. I want them to get a good education that's not totally controlled by the state, to make sure that, you know, anything bad that the state does isn't, you know, kids don't learn about any of that, blah, blah, blah. My grandparents wanted their kids to grow up in a free country and get a good education and all that stuff. So they left Portugal. So I don't know, growing up for me, my parents always pushed and instilled in my head that, you know, voting is a privilege. It's not a right. You should always vote. Learn. You don't know who you should vote for or whatever? Go online, go read books, whatever. Back in the day before the internet, it was read, you know, listen to the news. Like, all the political parties have a platform. They tell you what they're going to do. Yikes. Okay. You know, like, vote for whoever whose, you know, ideas you agree with, who you think is going to do good. Like, use objective critical thinking. But in the States, again, it's a shit show. I mean, the Republican Party doesn't even have a platform. What do they actually stand for? Nobody knows. I mean, we obviously know, but it's, you know, they don't make it official because they don't want to actually put it on paper. I'm gonna take this guy, I think, not the other guy. It's crazy, but that kind of stuff, you know, get involved in politics. I think if you hide from it, you are part of the problem. It's like centrists, people who think that being a centrist is like the best balance. Everything should be balanced in life, right? This isn't food. You're not talking about a diet or some other, like, no, this isn't. Balance doesn't exist. If you try and constantly stay in the middle, you just get pulled in one direction or another, depending on which way the winds are blowing. That's it. You're just a useful idiot who's getting yanked back and forth by whichever side is the most extreme. But centrists don't, like, there's been so many books, so many essays written about why centrism is stupid. It's kind of like libertarians, right? I think a lot of them are too stupid to understand why their whole idea about society doesn't make sense. It's not going to work. Well, ghost vacuum's annoying. think I'll toss the land here. And go get a... this thing. Wistfulness. The platform is fear, Dugio, yeah. And it's a tale as old as time, right? Fear is the easiest way to get people to control, to do what they want. I mean, you know, you look at even ICE and the, you know, the fact that they're bringing National Guard and paramilitary forces from Texas and sending them all the way to the opposite side of the country in Minneapolis is not a coincidence. It's what Tiananmen Square, the exact same thing happened, and that was long before the age of the internet. Oh wow, can I not? Okay, I can go double green here. Oof. You know, Tiananmen Square, there are reports that the initial Chinese brigades, the soldiers they brought in from Beijing, were not, they were saying, like, they refused to open fire on college students, on people that they knew weren't terrorists. So China had to go all the way out to the rural parts of the country to find soldiers that were disconnected enough that they would believe the bullshit. And they told all these soldiers, these are terrorists that are attacking the capital and they need to be violently suppressed or our country's gonna go under, or whatever they told them. You know, it's like made them feel scared as shit, and they went in there and they massacred thousands of innocent people, right? The same thing. Got to use military forces from outside, make them fear the outsider, fear, you know, if people knew that these are like normal people, your neighbors, your friends that are, you know, getting attacked, I think a lot of people wouldn't do it, but you know, the local forces would be less likely to attack their own people. Like local police forces are not, you know, hopefully not doing whatever ICE tells them to do, but a lot of times it's, yeah, you got to bring forces in from outside, right? Yeah, Tiananmen Square was crazy, but again, it's an example of all these kinds of things, right? We talked about the trolley problem. People are very reluctant to kill someone directly, but they're much less reluctant to do it if it's impersonal. If it's just like, you know, flip a switch or whatever, or do something remote, they won't do it. Like flip a switch to kill one person over 5 people, sure, but push someone in front of the tracks to save 5 people, no. Like people won't do that for good reason. Like it makes sense, right? But governments know this. I mean, people, you know, it's easy to exploit people like that. Just keep it impersonal. Take people from one part of the country, send them over there, make them do whatever. And it'll be much easier that way than trying to convince local people to turn against each other. Because they know each other. They know each other are not bad people. Like, right? Carry on. Copies. I have no bitter triumphs. Italy is not happy with the US sending ICE agents into Italy? What? Oh, I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah, that's insane. They should just not let them, but a good place, yeah. Yeah. Cool. Alright, I think I'm done with this deck. Let's switch it up to Jeskai and get our dailies here. I think Sultai is quite good, but I'm not really even focusing on these. I'm just getting my dailies done. I don't... Shit. I'm making dumb mistakes. Oops. And I'm... yeah, white or red spells. Let's switch it up. Should I switch or tweak this deck at all? I don't know. I was playing Seer just for shits and giggles. I was playing Ashling's Command. Nah. I'm gonna put a flanker in the main. Tidebinder? Sure, let's play one Tidebinder. I have 1 No More Lies. Let's get this shit out of here. I'll just play 2 3 steps. And then I have a sideboard slot. Don't think I need 2 Annul. Put an Unagi in here. And... George Wanshitong? Okay. There we go. Let's run it. I didn't know they were... Yeah, what? Olympics? Like, I don't know what's happening, Nano. What do you mean? What Olympics? Are there Olympics happening? The thing that's happening this summer is the World Cup, right? which is a whole metagame breakdown. I don't know what you're referring to. Sorry. The Winter Olympics. Oh, this February? Like next month? The Winter Olympics are happening? I had no idea. Really? Oh, fuck. I had no idea. I don't pay attention to that, so I didn't even know. We're in an Olympic year. Okay. And it's in Europe somewhere? I don't even know where it is. Italy's hosting it. Oh, crazy. Yeah, no idea. Oh yeah, we've changed the mana base here as well. So what are you? So U.S. was saying they're gonna send ICE to provide safety. What a fucking joke. Meanwhile, half the world does not want to send their soccer teams to the U.S. Are you kidding? Amidst what's happening right now, so the irony is palpable. This guy's from Canada. I know, Winter Olympics. You think I would know? Nah, don't give a shit. Once it comes on, once people start talking about medals and award, I'll be like, oh, the Olympics are on. All right, let's watch. I don't give a shit. Ooh, actually, I'm going to play Untapped. Pass. You guys know sports are irrelevant, right? Sports are a distraction. They're fun, but who gives a shit right now? With what's happening in the world, I could give a rat's ass about who wins the figure skating competition. Or whatever. Sorry, I know that's harsh. I know, Captain Bringdown over here. But let's be honest. There's bigger things to worry about. I could give a rat's ass about the Olympics. But they're happening? Okay, that's probably why I didn't know they were even happening. They are happening. Good to know. Maybe I'll check in at some point and see how Canada's doing, but crazy times. We're playing against Jeskai Control. Sure. My hand is not great here. I kept, Fire Magics thinking we'd have some interaction early. Playing against the control mirror, then I drew another sweeper. That's not good at all. It's okay, though. I just need to keep making the land drops. My opponent's not a hard control deck. They're a soft, proactive, weak-ass control deck. So I can go over the top of them. I just need to have more lands than they do at every stage of the game. I hope I don't have to cycle this, but we'll see. Sports are fun. I love playing sports, but like the Olympics and stuff, yeah, I just don't give a shit anymore. I mean, I'll watch, I'll cheer for Canada, and if they're competing in some event, but whatever. I don't tie myself or my identity or my pride for my country to the Olympics. Like, who gives a shit if we win medals or not? I'm proud to be Canadian because of our Prime Minister's speech at Davos. That's why I'm proud to be Canadian. Not if we don't win the gold medal at hockey, I won't give a shit. But I know there are going to be many Canadian people, mostly men, who are going to act like this is the most devastating thing that could possibly happen to them in the world. Right now, nothing is worse than Canada losing. Sometimes I had friends who would get choked even when Canada would lose, like, the juniors. Like the under 18 blah blah blah. Like, what? Dude, who gives a shit? Why do you care? Devastated. Oh god, I can't believe it. Oh, if only we had blah 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 blah. Like, really? That's causing you the most grief in your life right now? The under 21 hockey team didn't win? Cracks me up. Go tapped here. And pass. Sorry guys, it's just, I can't take it seriously. Sports are fucking irrelevant. They're fun to watch, they're even more fun to play, but in the big picture, they are totally a meaningless distraction from what actually matters in the world, in life. Right? I know that people don't like to hear this, especially in like kind of sports obsessed cultures. Which is a lot. There's a lot of basically almost every culture on earth. People love their games. They love and of course, politicians learned hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years ago, the Greeks, to give people their games. Keep them cake and circuses, right? Bread and circuses, whatever. Let them eat cake. Mixing up my idioms here, but you know what I'm getting at. Yeah, right. You've got to be proud. Yeah, like, exactly. I don't know. If I was Russian, I would be very unhappy, and it would be very hard for me to cheer. I mean, God, the Russian athletes, like, for a few years now have had their flags have to be hidden. They can't play their national anthem. I mean, all that shit. you gotta feel pretty ashamed of your country if that's the state it's in, right? Can't rip an Ultima here. That's stupid. God, I drew a final showdown. Okay. Need to find a Mistrise village here. Stat. You'll be disappointed if Canada loses. I mean, I'll be like, oh darn, you know, that's unfortunate. But I almost feel like it's nice not caring about sports because I don't have these, you know, issues that other guys have where they get, you know, depressed because Canada didn't do well. Like, I don't give a shit. So it's great. I never get upset when my country or the team that I'm cheering for doesn't win. I'm just like, oh well, we'll get them next time, guys. Meanwhile, there are grown men crying over it. Yeah, okay, Scoop, and that's what Brimmer was saying too. Yeah, like, and again, I imagine being Russian, and you know, I that's why I try not to boycott. Like, I was playing a game on Saturday, but I guess I didn't even know this, but apparently it's made by a dev in Russia. But that's all we know. It's a very small developer, indie developer, and made this little game, and I got a key for it, so I played it. It was okay. It's nothing special, but you know, there's a guy from Poland who has been in my channel for a long time since I first started streaming, and he was just like, I'm not watching this. I refuse to give any support to a Russian dev because fuck Russia. And I'm like, yes, I know that, like, fuck Russia, yeah, fuck Putin, just like, you know, fuck the CCP in China, but I have nothing against Chinese people. I don't care. Like, if there's a dev in China, it doesn't mean they, like, are they probably beholden? At least they have to say the right things when questioned and whatever about the government, sure. But maybe secretly they hate shit just as much as everybody else. They hate the human rights abuses that the Chinese government perpetrates just as much as I do. You know, I'm not going to boycott their product. Do I know these guys? Do they love Putin? I don't know that. Maybe they hate what's going on in their country. All I know is they put out this game. They happen to live in Russia. Why am I going to boycott a game over that? The Russian athlete thing is a totally different scenario, by the way. The doping thing was institutional doping. So them having their flag revoked and their national anthem, like, I mean, that's deserved. I think they should have just been banned entirely from the Olympics for like 10 years or something, for two separate cycles of Olympic, you know, summer and winter games. That would have been enough, but I don't know. Are they censoring them again? I don't know how long they said they were going to do that for, but I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, it's just, it gets complicated when sports and politics mix, right? It's interesting, but yeah. Unity for the people? Okay. So you mean like it's a way for people to have a sense of community is what you mean. Like just like church. That's one of the things about churches that are good. They allow people, they let people come together and people help each other, people share things. Like, we are, yeah, social creatures. So you're saying sports can do that too? Sure. But just like church, I don't think we need any of that to have a sense of community, but it does help some people. But I don't know. For me, it's, you know, you could have some sports fans who love this team, but then you got other fans or people who are fans of another team. So it's not really building community when everybody's like, here's my team better than all your teams, and then everybody says the same thing, my team's better than yours. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. It creates community in your little bubble of fans who like the same team as you, I guess, is something you could say. But American Olympians, they're not Trump. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, I will cheer for Canada in the Olympics. You know, whatever the event is, like, if there's, yeah, sure, of course I will. I'm not saying I refuse to, like, I'm not boycotting the Olympics, guys, right? Like, that's, yeah, I definitely will still watch events and cheer. I just won't memorize when the events are on, check the schedule, and when is the hockey game happening, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care. If I miss it, doesn't bother me at all. I'll hear about it at some point that Canada won gold or silver or whatever. Great. Wow, just going for it. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I drew fuck all over here. Man, if I had Jeskai Revelation, I guess they'd probably have a counter at this point, though. But Trump displayed a picture. Yeah, there's a lot of good people, Charlie. I know that. But there's so many people who are so fearful, and it's destroying your country. I mean, I wish I could say, or you could say, or anybody could say that it was just a small number of people that were like, you know, this small cult that supports this person. But you're talking tens of millions of people, right? 40 million people wanted this? That's not a small number. Like, I think it's a rude awakening, but I think a lot of Americans are basically coming to terms with the fact that a lot of your friends and neighbors are very fearful people, and that makes them very shitty people. They let their fear dominate them, and they are racist, and they are sexist, and they are homophobic, and they are anti-Semitic, and on and on and on and on. I think that's, yeah, I think that's kind of the reality. I mean, look at, yeah, I don't know. I see all the people protesting ICE, and I'm happy, but I also see all the people who wanted this cheering, and it's crazy. I don't know. I think at this point, some people are starting to turn. I think especially the people who got executed by the government were, like, the last dude was a white, straight, male nurse. Like, you know, I think the base, if that dude was a black guy or gay or any colored person, you know, just someone who looks like the villain that they all have in their minds, things would, nobody would have gotten, you know, out of their little bubble for that. But the fact that you're seeing, like, these people who, I think a lot of the racist and whatever sexist people who put Trump in power, the people they want to see hurt are not the people who are getting hurt, and that's causing some of them to waver a little bit, right? But anyway. Same with video games. Love video games for most people globally. We look like what? Nano, that is a bad take. That's not, is that what you think people think? You think people think we look like, if anybody thinks you're a loser because you play video games, they are the loser, not you. They are the loser. Is this my main phase? Sure. I don't give a shit what older generations think. Like, yeah, they think a lot of stupid bullshit. I don't really care, but yeah, but no, I don't know what the, how are you tying video games to community or sports, or what's the point here? People think you're, yeah, like my dad does not like video games. When we were growing up, he thought people who play video games are losers. And, you know, he's totally wrong. Like, my brother and I both proved him wrong. My brother makes video games for a living and has a great job, does really well for himself and everything else. My dad's kind of had to eat his words on that, but he's an older gen that still to this day thinks games are a waste of time, you know? I get it, but that doesn't mean anything. I don't know how you're tying that back into sports here, but there are a lot of good people, Charlie. I know, and that's the sad reality. It's almost half and half. Like, it's close. So again, for all the shitty people there are, or for all the good people, they're kind of getting canceled out by all the shitty people. I don't know. So Fire Magic, Day of Judgment, Ultima, Showdown. What do I want here? I could bring in Flanker. So I'll bring in some Tidebinders, sure. Helix. I think that's it. Get Lost kind of sucks. Could bring in a Null. Or sorry, not a Null. Oh, Spell Snare. That's a card I should be playing in my sideboard. I could bring in Flanker. I already have one in the main deck. Nah. But hold on, let me catch up. Millions want to change. But most of those people didn't think the change would go to this extreme. Right. So calling Harris a joke. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this for years, right? Since even before Donald Trump won the election the first time. I was still living in Korea then, and even over there, people were just like, most people assumed he would never win. Most people assumed that the kind of people who thought like him, who emulated him, were a tiny minority. I mean, he's just, you know, one of the most despicable human beings out there that I can imagine, right? He's the, like, kind of stereotypical complete asshole. But yeah, when you say they wanted change, I think that's the part that you need to drill down on, right? Like, what did they want to change? They want their, you know, lives to be better, to have better healthcare, to have all this stuff. But the people who they voted for are telling them, oh, the way you're going to get to that is by hating colored people or Jews or this or that, like all these scapegoats, right? Oh, when we get all those people out of here, everything's gonna be better. Like that's what they believe. That's the change they wanted. They're horrible people. They didn't want positive change, or they're too stupid to know. Like, how are you supposed to get positive change? You think it's by attacking, by separating, ripping people's children from their arms and separating them and deporting 5-year-olds and shit? Like, well, I didn't think there was going to be like that. You didn't? Are you even paying attention at all, you moron? Like, I don't who are these people who think that Donald Trump was going to, what? Like, the change wasn't going to be horrible? Like, the guy literally tried to overthrow your democracy. I can't believe people still voted for him even after that. You'd think that would be the last straw for most people, but who are these people? I think the change they wanted is exactly the kind of change that Donald Trump is giving them. We want a white, straight country. That's the change that people wanted, whether they tell you or not. I think that's why conservatism, that whole mask got ripped off completely. I think a lot of smart conservatives were like, whoa, 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 we had such a good thing going for decades, you know? Why did they, this guy saying the quiet part out loud, what a fucking idiot. God, we're all gonna get, you know, people are gonna know the jig is up. And then the jig is up, the mask comes off, and it turns out instead of people violently backlashing against, you know, this ugly, hideous visage that is now being exposed, it turns out a bunch of them actually want that too. And politicians go, wait a minute, what? Trump, like the first time, the whole Republican Party was against him. Now it's like, holy shit, it turns out, yeah, our base is just as horrible as he is. Let's get behind him, and yeah, I guess it's okay. Who needs the mask? I guess it turns out we didn't need it after all, right? Fiscal responsibility and all this other bullshit. Conservatism is about it's inherently selfish. It's an indefensible philosophical position to take if you boil it down right down to it, but I don't need to say that that's probably way above most people's heads. Nobody's even thinking about that aspect. It's always been that way too. Republican and Democrat, those terms mean nothing. It's just conservative versus progressive, and conservatism wants to drag us back down into the slime of, you know, prehistory, where people treated each other like animals, and progressive people want to advance society and know that we can be better and do better, etc., right? Sure, I'll fight. I love when I argue with Americans who are like, yeah, but did you know, the Democrats were the ones who wanted to, like, they were in favor of slavery and stuff, and Lincoln was a Republican. That's why you got to get away from your monikers, your Democrat, Republican bullshit. It's meaningless. Back then, the Democrats were the conservatives. The Republicans were the progressives. That's it. That's why. It's not because the parties are somehow inherently, like, you think they've never changed over the course of history? It's always been conservatives versus progressives. They can use whatever names, monikers they want. It doesn't change anything. I just want to land here. I'm going to take the Flood Farm. Running out of options here. Mull to 5 this game, but it's interesting, but... Well, so Nano, I think, like, what you're trying to say... I know what you mean, and the community and all the other stuff. I mean, what you're actually saying, though, is it's tribalism. Sports is tribalism. Everybody's tribe is their local sports team or their national sports team or whatever. Like, that's all it is. So does it create a sense of belonging and everything else? Yeah, but that's because it's tribalism, right? That is what it is. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Democratic and Republican Party has completely switched from one being conservative, one being progressive, to the opposite party being conservative and the opposite party being progressive. Yeah, it's funny because, yeah, that's why those names are irrelevant, but yeah. Yeah. Tapo, you're right. Yeah, exactly. We're all just monkeys who made fire once. Like, none of these systems are perfect. Communism, capitalism. I mean, capitalism has now destroyed democracy. It's clear. It's very clear to anybody paying attention. And Does that mean we should have never done it? No, it was a great experiment. We tried it, you know, and it turns out maybe the best form of government is somewhere in the middle between communism and capitalism, like some form of democratic socialism, which is, you know, you see Mamdani and people like that saying, you know, I'm a democratic socialist, which means, yeah, like there has to be a strong state in order to have freedoms. I think the you know, strong welfare system, welfare states. Like look at the happiest countries on earth. But the hyper-capitalist folks don't want you to think that. They want you to think that, yeah, total free markets, free reign is the only way, the best way. And yet late-stage capitalism is destroying us right now. It's destroying the planet. It's destroying democracy. The democratic societies, happy, free societies are becoming less free. And things are more unequal than ever, right? Inequality in terms of wealth and everything else. See if I can resolve this. I don't think I will, but force healthcare down our throats. Yeah, like universal healthcare is such a no-brainer. That is the thing that every other advanced nation on earth has had for a long time now, and yet it's still a debate in the US. It's insane. I mean, it's just like the gun laws and stuff. I mean, where are all these Second Amendment people that thought that Obama was going to take their guns, and then Biden, all the fear that was poured down their throats into their ears and brains. And here's a guy literally saying, if you have a gun, we're going to fucking kill you. If you have a gun anywhere, we're going to, that dude had a gun. He didn't even brandish it, pull it out, nothing. We shot him anyway. So where are all these people? I thought that's why you had your guns for this. This is it. Now's the time. Rise up. What? No? Oh, you're the one. You want to use the guns to oppress other people. So that's what it was all about the whole time? Feels like some people were saying this the entire time and ignored, and now here we are. Like, again, it's just ripped the mask off all this bullshit, but... Go into the bar in southern USA. Oh, God, right. Yes, yeah, exactly. To say fellow Democrats. Yeah. Come on, I'm looking for a land here and I see 5 spells? Okay, I can't win if I don't find land. Go. I'm gonna get Jeskai Revelation here, I imagine. Father was the most intelligent, level-headed individual, yeah. A single one that fits all. Right. Yeah, we've got to try and, yeah, like we take what works and we blend it with, you know, what we know. This is wild. My opponent just hard slamming these like a fool. And I can't, I never have a counter spell when they cast it. I even have mana up. So I lose this. Free week on Sundays. Second Amendment Republicans. Well, I don't know. I don't hear any of them. Again, a lot of these Second Amendment people are the people who signed up for ICE as soon as they started mass recruiting any chud off the street. They are the kind of people who stormed the Capitol to overthrow your actual democratically held election. They're the, like, a lot of them are these people. That's why I don't hear big complaints. The NRA, you know, made a statement. Even they wouldn't condemn, you know, I don't know. They tiptoed around it. It was ridiculous to see, you know, like the Second Amendment. Those are the big Second Amendment proponents, those guys. And it's like, wait, what? This is what you said you were holding onto these guns for, is exactly this. And you have paramilitary in the streets obeying the commands of one guy, not your government. They're breaking federal laws on a daily basis. The courts aren't holding them accountable. This is exactly the situation that you had all your guns for. At least that's what you kept telling us. That's what you kept saying to everybody over and over in the face of all the children getting killed and the school shootings and everything. But it's too important. We can't give up the guns because then we'll turn into a dictatorship. What? Here's the dictatorship. All your guns are being used against you. And what's happening right now? I don't know, Acute. I don't believe a word of that nonsense. People say this stuff just like every time there's a scandal, they say, that's it. This is it. Donald Trump's going down now. No, it turns out nobody's willing to hold somebody accountable. Your legal system only matters if the laws get enforced. If nobody's wanting to enforce them, that's it. You're done. There's no... Yeah, I'm gonna do this. There's no point in having laws if nobody's going to actually enforce them and hold people accountable, right? But anyway, I'll believe it when I see it. You know, people say, oh, MAGA's pissed. Oh, they've turned on Trump. No, they haven't. Nope. Not yet. I haven't seen it yet. People can say all they want, but I haven't seen any of that shit yet. Maybe at some point. I hope they will. Someday. We'll see. I don't see it happening. Until I actually see it, it doesn't mean anything. MTG, what's up? Whoa! 30% raise. Nice. That's awesome, dude. Shit, this is coming in tapped. That is awesome. That's huge. That's great. So yeah, they must be loving your work, right? They like all the stuff you've been doing for them. This is the computer stuff that you were doing. Was it for the shop? I think I can't remember if you told me. Was it? Did you say you were working for that shop? That's who gave you the raise, I assume, right? It's their dictatorship. Okay, Scoop. That's what I mean. It's the hypocrisy. It's just hypocrisy all the way down. Always projection. You know, always trying to say that other people are sex offenders and pedophiles and everything else. Meanwhile, their whole political party's rife with it. The president is a convicted rapist, you know, almost certainly a pedophile. He breaks laws all the time. But they're also the people who are proud of the police and stand up for, you know, the cops, the thin blue line bullshit, all that stuff. Like, how can you reconcile? Like, how do people in their heads do the mental gymnastics to deal with that kind of hypocrisy? It's like, it's mind blowing. I'm gonna go for this. Need to find lands here. Okay. Could have taken 2 lands. That wouldn't have been out of the question there, but I'm gonna take 1 for now. I don't think they're gonna give me a chance to Ultima here. They're gonna leave up mana for a counter spell, so probably gonna have to. Oh, never mind. Maybe I do get to Ultima. Great. Yeah, Tapo. That's right. Yeah, it's just at some point you can't. The excuse jar runs dry. There's no excuse left. Anybody who supports that person that's running the country, that wannabe dictator who's turning the US into a fascist regime, you're on. By supporting that person, you're supporting all the horrible shit that's happening. Like, there's no mental gymnastics that'll get you out of it. So are you a Nazi? Are you a fascist? Are you somebody who wants a dictator as long as the dictator hates the same people that you've been taught to hate? Or do you want to make your country better? I mean, it goes against everything that the States was founded on. And I don't know, I'm Canadian. A lot of people are like, why do you even care? It's like, because I know how the world works. None of this is happening in an isolated vacuum somewhere in space. I'm connected to the US. Everybody's connected to everybody at this point. There's no hiding from politics and the way the world works. I'm gonna die now, I think. Needed lands here. Maybe I should have taken 2 lands, but yeah. Anyway, I hope that, you know, again, smartphones, things like that never existed when the, you know, Wehrmacht Germany was, you know, rising to power. Hitler's rising to power in Germany and saying all kinds and spreading fear. They had radios in everybody's houses spewing propaganda, but that was after the Nazi Party took power. But even leading up to it, I mean, nothing like smartphones. Like, being able to film the atrocities happening is a big difference. It's why why the U.S. lost the Vietnam War were cameras, right? Okay, I'm gonna pass here. I assume they're gonna flash something in. Oh, nice. It was the first war that got televised. And when people saw images of dudes with holes in their chests and horrible conditions and crazy shit, like with embedded journalists, people videotaping in the trenches of like Vietnam, that was it. People were just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now? No way. And suddenly, huge backlash. As soon as they lost public support for the war, that was it. Don't care about that. Beautiful. Get those lands off the top. flash in Flanky Boy here. I'm going to gain 2, scry 2. Maybe they kill my guy. I don't really care. But if I get to block, great. They might let me block thinking, you know, their 4/4 is going to live here anyway. But yeah, they probably want to get in damage. Sure. Man, no land is rough here. Jesus. I'm going to put both these on the bottom. Consult is very tempting to keep on top, but I'm going to let this happen. And I think I'm going to actually Lightning Helix my opponent on end step. No, I should save it for their Soul Guide Sanctuary or whatever. Soulstone Sanctuary. Go. I was hoping to draw land. So let's Tidebind the Restless Reef trigger here. Deep Cavern doesn't matter. Just gonna fire magic that. For the shop. Oh, nice, MTG, yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, and the fact that, yeah, the U.S. has, you know, been the paragon of democracy for years. If you were a small country that was recovering from a dictatorship that just collapsed or a revolution or whatever, you used the American model of democracy as a model for, you know, I mean, it was when they created the Constitution, there had been no country like that in history, right? I mean, the USA was the very first in this kind of experiment of democracy where we're not going to have a king, we're not going to have kings and queens. And everybody went, what? Well, then how are you going to, how does that work? Because up until then, it had only been kings and queens that ruled over everything. And it was like, no, we're going to try this. All the people, like in Greece, there was democracy or whatever, but that was largely abandoned, you know, for hundreds of years after. Nobody was doing that stuff in the Middle Ages, right? Okay, let's pass. Okay. But the US said, yeah, we're going to try this, and it's going to be hard. And sure enough, there was all kinds of fighting. I mean, there was the American Revolution that happened. Or the Civil War, I mean, not Revolution. Okay, I'm going to let them attack me here. What do I have? 30 cards left. Yeah. Don't mind that. Rookegg, how you doing, buddy? So anyway, it's like, it's almost extra sad to see that happen, you know, there. But, doing well. Good to hear. Good to hear. Are you looking forward to the Pro Tour this weekend? We're going to be watching tomorrow and Saturday, I believe. Maybe I'll even watch Sunday, too. I don't know. But all right, see if we can pop this guy. I'll fight. Sure. We have 1 card left. Nice. Pass. Just finished a big bowl of pho. Oh, I call it pho, but it's not. It's pho. Pho. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not even sure. All right, let's check it out. Okay. Hit me. Pho. That's it. The hipsters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, but yeah. You know, I was reading about Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam, and it's, you know, it's a communist country. You have to, before I even traveled there, I had to like get a specific visa in the other country that I was in before I traveled to Vietnam. China's the same. I went to a GP in Beijing once for Magic, a sealed GP. Pass. My opponent doesn't know what I have, except defeat, which they know can't touch their creature lands. Fire up that sanctuary. Come on, baby. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, you're weak. Okay. Yeah, I want them to have 2 lands up here. Yeah. Let's go for it. They could counter this, but I want to kill this land. See if they top deck a counter spell. That sounds delicious though, Rook Egg. I like the Japanese style like noodle dishes. It's not like pho, but it's like, I don't know, they have egg and stuff in there and meat. Oh, it's so good. I love the Japanese style like ramen, like udon ramen. I guess that's different than pho though. I just don't do a lot of soups. I'm not a big soup guy. I find if I eat soup, I'm hungry like 2 hours later. Like it has to be like, you know, soup and a sandwich, right? Like normally they'll pair soup with something else. Because otherwise soup on its own, not quite doing it. Oh boy. Okay, pass. They don't know that I have Helix here. Like it. Oh, that means they drew a counter spell. Okay, spell snare me, I guess. No? Bonus. Okay. Well, now I have Revelation up, and I know they can't counter it, so that's pretty good. I think I'm still going to do it on their upkeep, though. Hold up. I mean, I could shoot them in the face. Bounce the flood pits, shoot them in the face? That might even be better, but I think because they're at 13, like I put them to 9 here. Okay, making the comeback. Cup noodle, nice. Soup and at least a grilled cheese, right? Like I feel like if there's no sandwich to go with it, it's almost not enough. So, but I love the flavor of soup. Soup is delicious. Like I give you that. Should I just Jeskai Revelation here? I feel like leaning on the monks is better. Oh, the order for the... Yeah, I don't need that. Okay. Combat. Let's see if they... Oh. Just one. Just for a second. See how it feels. There. See? That wasn't so bad. 11 HP. Okay, I'm gonna go for another consult. No, I'm gonna go for mystical because they don't have no more lies. Is it just revelation? Probably. Could kill them here. I think I should probably try. Alright, here we go. You love soup? Made a delicious carrot ginger. Ooh, I don't think I've ever had that before. Oh yeah, bread. Yeah. Bread and soup's good. I mean, Portuguese, my grandma used to make soup all the time. My mom still makes it. Like, I like it, but I just need more than that. I don't know. It's never, it feels like it's never enough, this soup. Fire magic? Okay, now it's lethal. No, it's not lethal. Shit. Okay. Is that Godless Shrine? I'm gonna pay the 2 life to have Get Lost up here. Okay. But soup is really good. I love Tom Yum soup. Yeah, I've got just as many as you, homie. I've got Tom Yum soup, or like some Asian soups. Like especially you go to like Thailand or yeah, Vietnam, places like that. Like a lot of the countries that were pretty poor, many of them are still pretty poor countries. You know, soup is very common because it's obviously a dish that can feed a lot of people. Like when I went to South Korea, All the Korean dishes that are really famous are all soups, and it comes from the fact that Korea was like, you know, essentially a developing country. Like what we used to call a third world country. They had the same GDP as like a Central African nation, like totally agrarian, agricultural country. And then they went from that to like the sixth largest economy in the world in like 20-year span because of huge injections of money and just like everything got completely transformed. It's really weird. So Korea's got this really weird culture that's like way behind the times, but the look and the aesthetic and everything is like super modern, I mean, they have stuff that we don't have in Canada. Like I was using a 5G phone in Korea way before 5G existed in Canada and the United States. But the food is still traditional, which is poor person's food, like bude jjigae is essentially all the scraps that are left over, the cheapest bits of meat, throw it all in a pot, and it's like, so it's a traditional like kind of comfort food in Korea. But when you look at it and you're like, what is this? Oh, it came from like US Army soldiers like giving the people spam, cans of spam and stuff like that, after the Korean War, and people being so poor, like they would take, spam was like a delicacy. Even to this day on Thanksgiving, people will give each other spam as a gift. Like fancy, like regular cans of spam, but like placed in this velvet cushion display in a giant ornate box that's like glass in the front. It's crazy. To me, it's crazy. Okay, let's try that. But I couldn't believe it when I saw the reverence for spam. And then you learn like what the cultural significance like historically is, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. Right, I forgot this. Yeah, it's so like walking in Gangnam with like giant glass and steel skyscrapers and modern everything. You forget that, wait, yeah, like 20 years ago, none of this was all farm fields? Really? Holy shit. That's crazy. But the food, you see it in the food. Spicy food. Like, spicy food makes you feel full. Like, when I have especially in a hot climate, like when you're in Thailand and you have a little bowl of curry, they give it to you and you're like, oh. Like, in my head, I'm like, this little bowl of soup with, like, a little thing of rice. And I'm just like, that's not gonna make me, I'm gonna be hungry in an hour. But it's spicy and it's hot outside and it just, no, I'm not hungry. It takes a while for me to feel hungry again. So in a country like that where, not a lot of people have a lot of money and you want to make the food last and feed as many people as you can, do as much as you can with as little as you can. Soup's great. Soup's a poor person food, right? So in a lot of, it sounds harsh, but in a lot of countries that's why soups are, and spicy food comes from places that, where a lot of people didn't have a lot of money for a long time. Some places they still don't. But, I find it funny, and my wife, like, she's Korean, and she knows this is true, but she doesn't even, like, she's, again, very nationalistic, very proud. She doesn't like talking about this stuff. Like, almost like she's almost embarrassed of her own history, and I'm like, it doesn't matter, Yoonjung, like, these are facts, like, this is history. This is the history of your country. Like, there's no point in, like, trying to pretend that this isn't how it is. Like, this is... It's okay. It's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's a fascinating history. My country has no history. We're only like a couple hundred years old. You could trace Korean dynasties back like thousands and thousands of years. So why are you ashamed? But it's just like this national pride. She just no, like Korean people don't like, especially younger generations don't like acknowledging that cultural gap and that wealth gap, that the country used to be so poor and run by a dictator as early as the 80s, right? The what's his name? Park Geun-hye's father, she became president much later. He got assassinated, right? The dictator. And then his daughter becomes president like 30 years later. Is wild. She gets impeached, of course. She's a horrible, corrupt politician, had no business being in power. Really interesting. I don't know. I think the history of Korea is wild. The political history is insane. When I first moved there, the president killed himself, like shortly before I got there, and people were talking about it, and I was just like, "Whoa, the president!" And like, so of course, a lot of his loyalists said, "No, he had a hiking accident. He fell off a cliff. He fell off a cliff." and the facts come out that he was in debt. His family was being investigated for corruption. He was rotten to the core, and he killed himself. Because in Korea, that's what happens. If you kill yourself, the criminal charges against your family get dropped. Kind of like in the States when you become president. It doesn't matter how many crimes you've committed on the way there. As soon as you become president, you are immune to prosecution, which is so fucked up. That no country's leader should ever be immune to prosecution, ever, right? I mean, that has to be a cornerstone of democracy, right? Like the leader can never be an untouchable king. It's just like when religion ruled us and stuff, right? Like the Pope, or, you know, countries who made it out like their leader was divinely appointed. So even when it looked like they fucked up, they didn't really fuck up. It's just you don't understand. You don't know God's plan. Trust me, okay? God works through this glorious leader. So even though it looks like they're incompetent, they're just playing 5D chess. Like, right, okay. Anyway, criminals should go to jail is kind of what I'm saying. Doesn't matter who you are. President of the country, etc. Anyway, in Korea, yeah, multiple presidents, like that guy killed himself. Multiple went to prison. Yeah, all action over here, baby. All action. Could still win this, but very unlikely. I would need to draw, like, my opponent have 3 lands in their hand, and I draw Ultima right now. I can't even make it uncounterable. So, yeah. Doesn't matter here. Assume this is going to get countered, or my Day of Judgment will get countered if I can even find one. Nope. Game 3. 8-bit fire explosion sound effect. Yeah, the fire when I cast fire magic. Yeah, it's good. I didn't really sideboard here. I'm not really paying too much attention. This seems good. Let's try Unagi here. Got 1 Revelation. Actually, I'll try 1 Shitong too. I'll cut Teachings. Anyway, yeah, interesting times. I thought Korea was fascinating. Even recently, the last president is facing charges right now that he, like, technically he could be executed, which is crazy. He was just in power a year ago at this time, or a year and a half, and he declared martial law and tried to take over the government and turn it into a dictatorship, basically. And people lost their minds, and, you know, he's been arrested, he's in jail, he's going through his trial right now. One of his ministers, one of the Ministry of Defense guy, or like one of the head generals in his cabinet, just got 18 years or 17 years or something in prison. Yeah, that's what I want to see. All these people to go to prison, to actually be held accountable for the horrible shit they're doing. The entire Trump administration, all the people who enabled them. I mean, hell, even tech billionaires, I think, should be going to prison if they're straight up bribing the government as soon as they get the chance. As soon as it, like, looks like it's okay to do this, we're just gonna, like, give you a bunch of money and get you elected. And then when you're in power, you're gonna give us a bunch of kickbacks, and around the money goes. Crazy times. Yep. Anywho, I'm a humanist, god damn it. I'm an optimist. I know that we are gonna be better, and this will end. This too will pass. And when it does, we can use these horrible times as a template for what not to do. We can make sure that this kind of shit doesn't happen again. Right? I think I'm just gonna take... I should take 2 land here. I'm gonna take defeat, though. It sucks, but, you know, the reason we work together on talking down countries from making nuclear weapons is because it got so bad that the world almost ended. You know, we're stupid. We're very reactive creatures. We know proactively what's gonna happen. Like, anybody who has half a brain, who's read a history book, knows what was happening in the States before it all happened. Wait, what? Am I not? Oh, because the white and the black are on the same land? Oh. Okay. Right. Okay, I thought I was going to defeat Kaito here, and I can't, apparently. Got it. At me, bro. I think we're going to use this and say, this shit can never happen again. One asshole just took over the government, and nobody wanted to stand in his way because he was a populist, and it turns out we have a lot of racist, you know, misogynistic or homophobic pieces of shit in this country who supported him. But more importantly, none of our politicians stood up and did anything. The courts just completely folded. Okay, after this, we institute age limits for senators and congresspeople. We institute a rotating Supreme Court, no lifetime appointments, or 12, or, you know, it has to be, I don't know, fix all that shit. Fix the electoral system. Like, this is a chance for the US to refine its initial experiment that has now gone awry, right? Things are so far off the rails. Let's get back. We can make it better than it was before. It's always like this. It's got to be it's darkest before the dawn, right? It's really dark, and it's going to get darker, but at some point it will change, and when it does, that's the opportunity to make sure that this kind of shit never happens again. We'll see, though. We will see. Unfortunate. Okay. Kill Kaito. Anyway, I hope it happens. Again, I'm an optimist. I think we're good at learning from our mistakes. We just have to hopefully not make a mistake that kills us all, like nuclear war, almost wiping out all life on the planet, you know, during the Cold War. But I think the reason, you know, Russia and the United States, like, I was listening to an excellent history podcast. A guy was talking about why he thinks the was that the podcast that I was listening to, or the article? There was an accompanying, like, essay that I partially read, and then I realized there was a podcast about it. But the article, maybe it was in the article, the guy was saying the reason Russia and the United States, it never ended up, neither one pulled the trigger and actually, you know, ended the world, is because both of them thought the future was theirs. Like, you know, Russia thought the future belonged to them and that they were going to win the arms race, the Cold War. And same with the US. So when you have a future, when you're the people in your country and the government, like, people believe that there's a future that is going to favor them, they are more likely to not end it all, you know? But the problem with, you know, what's happening in the US and in other places now, it's like, it's almost like people believe they have no future. Like, the future is so bleak that it doesn't matter, or I don't know. That's dangerous territory. That's when, yeah. So I'll take Hollowed Fountain. That's when stuff starts to really slide. And like death cults, like religious people who like, there's like groups of people who almost want the world to end. They want it, and they see somebody like Donald Trump as being the accelerant to that, right? The person who's going to actually make it all happen, because he's such a fucking bumbling idiot, and he's obviously, you know, does things just for himself only. He's going to butt heads with the wrong person. It's going to cause a war. Sure enough, look at what's happening already, right? I wonder if the US and Iran are going to get into a war soon. He's threatening Iran. He went into Venezuela and, like, abducted their president. You know, the Greenland shit. I mean, all the people who want the world to end see this and they're cheering, right? They want that to happen. There's people who think that we need to hit the reset button, and that's the only way we fix the world or whatever. Like, the most short-sighted idiots you can imagine. If people like that were ever in power, we would have been long gone already. I don't know. Back in the old days, I don't know. Maybe there's no way to do it. There were no nuclear weapons or biological weapons or anything, but okay, this isn't so bad. Oh, it's the emblem. Oh, right. Because, okay. I thought for some reason Kaito was pumping it, but then I realized, wait, no, if I kill Kaito, this doesn't go back to a 3-3. Because it's an emblem, right, that he gives. Yes. Nice. Opponent's whiffing. If I draw an untapped land and I can cast Revelation, they're in deep shit. Yup. Some really messed up stuff happened here during the convoy that really fucked me up. No shit. Wait, where? The convoy? You mean in Canada? In Toronto? Ottawa? I'm sorry, I don't know where you're located. I don't need you to tell me, but is that you're referring to the trucker convoy in Canada, like protesting vaccines and all that shit, right? And it fucked you up. Yeah, it's really fucked up to see like Nazi flags being waved and next to Canadian, like that was the most ashamed I had ever been to see a Canadian flag. Like it was disgusting. But if that's the kind of stuff you were referring to, I'm in trouble. Needed to hit a land there and have my opponent not have a counter spell. So I've got the defeats. If I flash in Tidebinder, it's just going to eat a removal spell and they're going to kill me. Yeah. People are partying in the streets thinking they're doing something good, right? Yeah. Oh wow, crazy. Was this happening in Ottawa? I heard about vandalism and stuff like that, and they were trashing like the nearby businesses and stuff. Because they were there for weeks, right? Like 2 weeks or something. They didn't go for the map. I've got to kill something now, but then they're just going to Kaito me, so I think I'm dead. Let's see. I'm doing this before blocks, so they can't bounce the thing I'm targeting, but they're just going to bounce one of their other guys here, I think. That's insane. Yeah. Oh, I'm still dead. Yeah, that was bizarre, Kev. What's up? First time seeing a Canadian flag, it was disgusting. Wait, did you miss the whole thing that I was saying before that? Yeah. No, it was disgusting seeing it next to Nazi flags, like the rabid, you know, conservative idiots, like fearful people who are so full of fear that they let fear dictate what they believe, and they believe the people who stoke their fears, and they believe the people who say I'm the cure, I'm gonna, you know, that the trucker protest, yeah, and they were protesting vaccines and all this other shit, and just there were people flying Nazi flags, and I was saying, and all the people who supported them were flying Canadian flags, and I was like, that was the most disgusted I've ever been to as a Canadian, like seeing that shit. It was gross, you know. There's a Magic the Gathering artist who got blacklisted because they were in the front and center at that protest, like waving flags. The pandemic was fascinating because so many people who just, you know, are ignorant about virology and what this all is and vaccines and everything just believed all the fear mongers out there, and the fear mongers convinced so many people that it was in their best interest to fight all this. There were people I know a guy who moved away from Canada because he thought, this is it, Canada became a totalitarian government, they're locking us down, like we can't even leave our hub, fuck this, what is this, North Korea? Like completely went off the deep end. He moved to Zagreb, Croatia, and I haven't heard from him since. Batshit. That guy was a guy I was friends with. He was at my wedding. Totally normal dude until the pandemic, and he lost his fucking mind. I don't know. It's crazy what happened. I'm scared that it's going to happen again. The next pandemic's going to be much worse, and if people are that fucking stupid again, we're doomed. We are doomed. That's what I feel bad about that, but hopefully the cooler heads prevail. Hopefully people listen next time. We'll see. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kev, we've been talking about it all stream, just all the shit happening in the States and everything right now, and you know, I'm trying to, you know, it's easy to sit here and talk all the shit. We've seen all the shit. We know what's happening. Anybody with half a brain can see what's going on. I've been one of the canaries in the coal mine for years now about this shit. Like, I have a channel on my Discord where we talk about all this shit. I don't post there a fraction of what I read and everything. I don't want to spam nonstop. I could be posting 10 things a day on that Discord channel, but I want to try and say something positive to people, and at least there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know, this kind of darkness will pass, and the key thing to remember is once it does, you can't forget. You can't forget what happened. You can't forget how it got this bad, and you've got to correct it. Like, this is the chance for the US to totally reform their political system. It's going to get so bad that the next person, whoever runs the show, who's an actual adult, has empathy, who wants to, who understands how the world is better when everybody's working together, that person needs to reform the laws and change the way the Supreme Court works, change the way your electoral system works, change it all, and do it in the name of never having shit like this happen again. Paramilitaries in the streets, full immunity going into people's houses, private property laws be damned. There's a reason you have castle laws in the States and things like that. All the Second Amendment people who are where? I don't see them. This is your chance to rise up. Here's revolution time. All this bullshit can't be allowed to stand after this, right? And if that doesn't happen, then it's over. Like, that's it. There's no, if the next person in line, if you go back to like Nixon, it all kind of started when Nixon did something blatantly illegal, got caught doing it beyond the shadow of a doubt, admitted that he was guilty and everything else, and instead of going to jail, they gave everybody involved a slap on the wrist. I think that was the tipping point where a lot of conservative politicians and conservative think tanks and movements and everything, Roger Ailes, all these people were like, oh, so even if we do illegal shit and get caught, that's all that happens? And it started emboldening them to twist things and start pushing things and push the line, push what's legal and what's not, and keep pushing and keep fighting for laws that give them more power and make it easier for them to continue pushing. And it's funny, even then, the Watergate scandal, there was almost no accountability, and that set the precedent. And then here we are, zero accountability. The laws don't fucking mean shit. They don't mean the paper they're not worth the paper they're written on if nobody's going to enforce them, if there's no accountability. That is a death sentence, right? I mean, that's what's killing your democracy. There's one dude calling all the shots and nobody's saying, wait, what? This is it. People are like, that's illegal. That is breaking federal law. Hello? It's breaking federal law, everybody. No, nobody does anything. It's like, I don't know. So it's going to get worse, but it will get better. You gotta believe that this is the kind of thing that will force, the United States to re-examine a lot of what they thought was true, which is a lot of it is clearly not, built on things that are not worth a damn because they've never been tested before. And it turns out they got tested and they were found wanting. All the checks and balances, all the Supreme Court, everything else. So we'll see what happens, but it's fascinating to see from the outside because I try and be optimistic. I think there is light at the end of the tunnel and it will eventually get better. Just like we had to come to the brink of wiping out civilization with the nuclear weapons before people went, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? You have 5,000 nukes? You have 5,000 nukes? We gotta stop making more nukes. You need to destroy 3,000 of those nukes right now. Same with you. Like, this is literally what happened. It had to get that bad to the point where there was almost false alarms that triggered nuclear war that would have ended civilization as we know it. And we finally went, okay, fucking what? We gotta stop this. It's kind of like that, right? We're really dumb human beings. It's got to get so bad before we decide to do something about it, and that's kind of what's happening right now. Hey Mojo, what's up? I lose. Where are all my sweepers? I don't know. I can't draw a sweeper. So good luck. I honestly mean that. Go out, protest, fight, call your local politician, vote. At the fucking bare minimum, vote. I constantly say this on my channel. Voting is a privilege, not a right. You think you have the right to vote, so you think you can just squander it because it'll always be there? No, you're lucky if you're the kind of person who lives in a country that you have the privilege of voting. So many people do not have the privilege of voting. They live in Vietnam or China or, North Korea or Russia or et cetera, et cetera. I mean, some of those countries, they go through the motions, right? They pretend like they're having a vote, but it's a joke. Like, I think in Vietnam, it's the Communist Party wins 99% of the vote every time. Something like that. It's so ludicrous, but... okay, so let's bring in the Graveyard Hate. I'm debating Tidebinder here. I think I'm going to keep in Teachings. I'll take out Fire Magic. Sweepers are okay, too. I think I'm going to take out the Counter Magic. I can bring in Tidebinder. It's kind of tempting to just shut off the shut off the triggers on even something like a Bookworm is pretty good. Mojo, what's new, man? How's life? Yeah. Hey, Jub, how you doing? Sorry, I'm ranting. I just, it's hard. I just, I feel very passionately about these things, and yeah, that's why I ramble. Anyway, let's play these games. We're only going to be streaming for another maybe hour or so. Unfortunately, I can't go long today, but yeah, doing well. Started playing. Oh, nice, Arkham City. Yeah. Right, yeah, you're loving that monitor. You're making me want to get a new monitor with like a 340 hertz refresh rate or something stupid. You can get some crazy monitors these days. I have a 144 hertz monitor. I think it's 144, something like that. Sure. Yep, doesn't really matter what they take here. But I know there are monitors with crazy refresh rates, and I want to see what, you know, how games look on a monitor like that. But yeah, ooh, big flanks, big shanks. I like big shanks, and I doth not protest. Do you think? I mean, there were poetry slams back in like Shakespeare's day, right? Like there were like you read about like classical pianists having like battles, like battling, literally. Like, oh, nice. Okay, they knew I had a helix, and they still jammed this. Up with that. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna leave up flanker here. And then if they don't do anything, I get to find a land. But 240, yeah. Oh, locked to 60. Interesting. They're gonna draw 2 discard. Go nuts. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Refresh rates. The monitor. I don't know. I was gonna tie it to frame rate. You're talking about hertz though. I know you're talking about 60 FPS or 60 hertz. You're saying your OLED is 240 hertz, but Arkham City is locked to 60 hertz? No. Is it? 60 FPS maybe. Sure. Doesn't really matter what they take here. Take one of my flankers. But yeah, I really dislike the console games. My brother, you know, he makes video games and everything, but he prefers the game on a console. And I keep telling him, like, man, I don't know. I don't like the games that, like, PS5 Spider-Man or whatever, they lock it to 30 FPS. Or you can, what is it? It's called performance mode. Or you can play it in 60 FPS and it'll probably run like shit. Like, what? I'm just gonna do this now. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this now. Yeah, they would side in a counter spell against me, right? I'm gonna take Tidebinder here. Is it the same as being locked at 60 hertz? What? Really? Yeah, 60 FPS in City. I don't think it's 1-to-1 like that, is it? Hertz and FPS? Those are 2 totally different things. Do they line up exactly like that? I don't think that's how that works. I don't know, though. I don't actually know. It is 1-to-1? Are you serious? That is so weird. I didn't know that. I've never heard that before. I mean, I get it. So, like, I get that if the screen is refreshing exactly at the same rate as the frames are being displayed, then it's 1-to-1. But, like, yeah, I guess so. I guess you need to be getting more than 60 FPS in order to take advantage of, 240. Okay. I don't know why. That never clicked for me. I didn't know that. Holoprince, what's up? Max of 120. Oh, that's interesting. Why am I? Because I mean, even back in the day when we'd play PUBG and stuff like that. Let's leave this untapped. You know, there were friends of mine who were, you know, had the latest video card and everything else, and they were getting like 150 frames per second, but they only had a monitor that was doing 60 hertz. So, are you saying, yeah, like they wouldn't see as many frames, but it would still be. That's super fucking awkward. I guess I'll flip this in. They would still see, they would still get a smoother picture, even if it's not displaying at a high enough frame rate. Because otherwise, what would be the point of having, 120 FPS if your monitor's only locked to 60 or whatever? I'm trying to think. Because I had a buddy who, back in those days, like, now they have monitors that are 240 hertz, but like 10 years ago, they didn't have shit like that. 8 years ago? 9? Oh, well, PUBG's like at least 9 years old. I feel like I've been playing it for almost 10 years now. Okay, well, now I have Revelation up, so I don't think we can lose. Oh, no, I don't. What am I saying? I only have 6 mana. It's going good, Hollow Prince. Thank you. Going well, I should say. Yeah, I don't know why, Kev, but I had no idea. That never... Like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together in my head. I know, obviously, what frame rate is, and the hertz... I didn't think it was tied to exactly frames. But I know it's the refresh rate of the monitor, but for some reason I thought the monitor would always be refreshing faster than the number of frames being displayed. But it is just straight up limited. That's so weird. But anyway, hold on. Did I kill this thing? Not coming back yet or anything. Nah. Let's do this. Just got home after a long day at school. Cooking dinner, nice. Sorry to hear about the long day, that kind of sucks. But hey, weekend's almost here, and it's a Pro Tour weekend. To player. Oh, did they cite in Spell Snare? Maybe I should have, Nope. Oh. For some reason it was on me. That was weird. I guess I have to take a land here. 1/1. Okay, we have a lot of white. I'll take another blue. Player created format called Planar Standard. Oh, I heard about it. Yeah. I know what format you're talking about. I saw a Reddit post. Yeah, I probably saw the same post as you. Somebody tried to make a new format. Yeah, it's kind of like a reformed standard, basically. I'll do that. Oops. It's interesting. Yeah. I saw it, but I just clicked after. I clicked past it. I feel like I've seen so many. I've seen so many formats like that come and go that I just don't. I don't put any stock in them. I just assume it's gonna die in 6 months, like every other format. What happened to pre-modern? Pre-modern people were hyped about for about a month, and now it's already kind of waning. I think, right? Same thing. Tiny leaders, you know, all these things, Hollow Prince. I've seen so many come and go over the years that I just can't be arsed to care anymore. I don't know. If it ends up being a real thing, that would be cool if they ever, you know, but there's no, yeah. All right. Well, somebody's trying to, you know, come up with a format, Mojo, but it's like a lot of other formats. I don't know if it's actually going to end up being anything or not, but it is becoming a permanent thing. Okay, all I know is people were talking about it, and now I don't hear anybody talking about it anymore. But oops. Nice. Just top deck another one like a champ. Oh, I should have left up red. Okay, whatever. No attacks. We'll see. Yeah, maybe pre-modern sticks. I heard a lot of people talking about it. Podcast, like it seemed like for a couple weeks there, every podcast I was listening to was talking about pre-modern. LSV was making pre-modern videos. I haven't heard a peep since. I don't know. Is it still? I guess people still into it. I think one of the big reasons a lot of people were like, "Fuck this," is the price. The price of pre-modern is absolutely batshit. Oops. Got him. Pre-modern is modern before Modern Horizons. Basically, Magic players don't like bullshit sets. So Modern Horizons is kind of a bullshit set. They basically printed a custom set. You know, it's not a specific plane or anything else. It's just like, here's a collection of super powerful, super juiced cards that are going to flip Modern on its head. And people got sick of it. So they're like, yeah, let's just... What if we have a format where only the stuff that came before is legal? Just like the planar one that Hollow's talking about. They basically took out Universes Beyond. It's kind of the same thing. Not every Universes Beyond card is super pushed, but Universes Beyond is the danger zone where things are much more likely to be pushed to the brink or to pass the breaking point, like Vivi or Nadu or... well, that was Modern Horizons again, but the One Ring, you know, things like that. Bowmasters, even. They're incentivized to really push Universes Beyond cards, but yeah, Jub, I mean, that would be great too. Yeah, fixing arena is always good. That's why I never ever say I had fun when they say, did you have fun? And it gives you those two smiley faces. Just always click on the one on the left. Always. People are like, oh, but come on, you know, there's people who work at the arena team who, you know, they like to see that. It's like, no, that has nothing to do with it, bro. Why wouldn't you side that out? I'm playing a creatureless control deck. Oh, except there's a creature. Like, I have 3 creatures post sideboard now. 4. Maybe it's to snag a Kutzil's flanker. Ooh, lucky. Okay, discard into discard. That's okay. We've got more graveyard hate. Sure. Okay, kill a bookworm or whatever, if that's what they have here. But yeah, standard with Moxen. Yeah, so pre-modern is expensive as shit. Like, pre-modern is, some of the decks are crazy expensive in real life, but Mox Diamond is legal in that format. Like, Mox Diamond is, well, go look it up. I don't even know how much it is now. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars for one. And you need 4. Even things like Sarah Sanctum, is that what it's called? Like, there's stuff that, like, the Enchantress deck plays, or Enchanties, or whatever. There's some old, like, Alarin, like, enchantment, I don't know, some deck that's legal in that format that's old. One of those enchantment decks, and some of those enchantments have never been reprinted. I think it's Sarah's Sanctum is crazy expensive. And just random shit like that, you know, I don't know, Standstill, or I don't know, some of these old legacy staples, like, a lot of them are really expensive. You're playing with, you know, stuff that's on the reserved list and stuff, or the non-reprint list, I don't know. It's kind of silly to me to make a new format that's even more expensive than the current format it's trying to, you know, correct or whatever. Rectify. But that's why planar standard, that sounds interesting. It was probably way less expensive than non-planar standard, but it is funny. When you look at the number of cards in standard that sees play from each set, it's interesting to see the breakdown of different sets. Like, since Duskmourn came out, Duskmourn has had more cards in play in standard than almost any other set. And then Bloomburrow's up there, like, second or third. I can't remember what the other ones are, but there's a whole, like, ranking somebody put online. I saw the graph. I'm gonna put this in tapped. And it was really interesting. I had no idea. I'm Duskmourn. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, the Overlord saw play for a long time, but they've fallen off months and months ago. I haven't seen... I mean, Overlord of the Baelmerk sneaks in the odd deck or whatever, but all the other Overlords, I barely see them in the top tiers of Standard. So, interesting, anyway. So, taking out Universes Beyond, kind of, you know, I don't know, what's the point? I've got to name white here, don't I? Like, most of the cards that see play in Standard aren't from Universes Beyond, but some of the big Power Spike cards were, so I could see wanting to cut those. I don't know. LGS is getting to Pioneer. It really? Whoa. It's kind of, that's why I'm surprised they're getting into Pioneer. Most Pioneer tournaments have ended. Nobody really plays Pioneer because Wizards hasn't had a big Pioneer tournament or regional championship qualifier or regional championship in Pioneer in, well, 2 years. They said last year, you know, they're not going to have any, and then they said again this year, nope, not having it. So, I don't know. Yeah, right. Zur rotated, but even after that, there was some Yuna decks. Like when Yuna came out, people were still trying to play Overlords in that Yuna shell, but it was never that amazing. Yeah, let's just go for Revelation here. See if they have a counter. They do not. Great. But you're right, Mojo. Zur was what really made that deck tier 1, and then that guy bounced, and that was it. Okay. Punch you in the face. No need to pump them yet. They do not really have a stocked graveyard, do they? Just a few deceits. But Pioneer's a fascinating thing, what's happening with Pioneer. Honestly, like, okay, so the weird thing about Pioneer right now, because Wizards has basically abandoned it, this is going to be... What did they pay for this? Oh, they didn't pay double blue. So even if they copy an Overlord here, or a Deceit, they're not going to get both triggers. Are they just going to copy a Bookworm? Let's see. No way, right? Might be a Bookworm here. That's wild. So they paid double black here, yeah. I should have bounced Kavera on the stack. That's my bad. I'm looking at the mana they paid. I guess they can't bounce something, but they're still going to Thoughtseize me. That's fine. Don't really care what they take here. It's going to be tough for them to stop me from killing them here. But yeah, Pioneer is weird because Wizards abandoned it. So right now, Pioneer is in this weird limbo where there is no metagame. Nobody really knows what the best decks are because there's no tournament data. There's no reason for the people who break formats to give a shit about Pioneer. So none of the big grinders and serious pros are touching Pioneer. Like, why? If you're a pro Magic player, you got to focus on your relevant tournaments and events that are coming up, which is Standard, Modern, and Limited. And that's it. Let's pass. They've got to make moves here, not me. Sure. Coming in as a Tidebinder. Oh, discard Harvester maybe? And then come in as a Harvester? Kind of interesting. I'm gonna stifle it, but... Sure. Yep. No. Attacks? Didn't think so. So 3 of my dudes are getting through. Yeah, thank you. All I need to do is draw a spell, and I think I win. Good game, friend. Good game. Delete it if you'd like, but for those curious, this is the red post. Yeah, nice. They deleted it? Why? Yeah, that was what I saw. This planar standard that this... I didn't read the whole thing. They laid it all out. There was a huge, like, post they made. A big, long thing explaining what it was and everything. But anyway, Pioneer's fascinating. Nobody really knows what's good or anything. But what I was going to say about Pioneer and why I'm kind of, like face-palming a little bit... A lot of people are having fun right now playing Pioneer because it's not format that matters to anybody who, you know, cares about Magic. Like the pros and all the deck builders, everybody, nobody gives a shit about Pioneer. So right now, people playing Pioneer are probably having a blast. Lots of different decks, people playing all kinds of homebrews, who knows. But I think one of the issues that maybe one of the reasons that Wizards abandoned Pioneer is they know that Pioneer is basically going to be standard, but just like the most busted shit that's already banned from standard, right? Like, isn't Pioneer just going to be all VV decks with Corey Steelcutter and This Town Ain't Big Enough and like all the banned cards from standard? Pretty sure that's going to be the or mono red with all the banned red mice from Bloomberg, you know, like, and Screaming Nemesis, and like it's just going to be a bunch of cards that were banned in standard that are going to dominate Pioneer. I think if they had a Pioneer tournament tomorrow, people would be very disappointed in what kind of decks did well. It's basically going to be extended all over again. If you guys remember, the extended format was what turned into modern. They got rid of extended at some point, and they made modern, which is was supposed to replace it, and different, you know, structure, like different set legalities and stuff. But extended was miserable. People hated extended because after a while it just became, oh, this is where all those standard decks that you hated playing against because they dominated standard the entire time they were legal, this is where they all live now. So if you want to still play against that same stuff that you've been playing against for 3 years or whatever, go play, you know, extended. And nobody wanted to play it, so it eventually died. And it, you know, it got so bad that Wizards killed it off. But even before then, it was extremely unpopular. Okay. Is I name black here? Gonna take some damage. Yeah. But anyway, so I wonder if Pioneer would be essentially the same thing at this point. If there's a reason why, somebody please tell me, because I can't think of a reason why that wouldn't be the case. I'm pretty sure Pioneer would just be the worst of standard from the last 3 years. The past 5 years of hits. That's it. But yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, Scoop, when you wonder why maybe they didn't do that, this guy dies to fire magic. Just let this guy happen. You know, maybe that's it too. Maybe they're going, yeah, like standard's already this, you know, as powerful as Pioneer. So what's the point of having a Pioneer and a standard? Like standard's at the point where, you know, the power level is very high. The card pool's big. I mean, it's not as big as Pioneer. I think a lot of people don't realize how big Pioneer is compared to standard, but standard is much bigger than it used to be, and yeah, it's maybe getting close enough to Pioneer that Wizards is like, why do we have both formats? It's pointless. Just go standard to modern, you know? Okay. Take some damage. Pump that guy? Oh, okay. So I could consult here. I think I'm going to do this, actually. Okay, I can discard this, have second white come in, or I already have 2 white, but have land come in untapped, sweep. Let's see what happens after this. Pioneer's not healthy. Mojo, you checked? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, like, nobody knows. Like, you can tell me what you experienced. Maybe you can say, oh, I played against nothing but this or that or whatever. But that doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, that doesn't help us determine if that is that the metagame, or is that just what you saw in your very tiny small sample size, right? Okay. We need a proper tournament. We need a big tournament with a lot of players, a lot of pros trying to actually, you know, here's a $50,000 Pioneer tournament. Bam. We'd have a metagame immediately, overnight. Like, that's it. That's all it would take. Come on, Jeskai Revelation, where you at? White. 4 white. Yeah, I'm gonna name blue here. Go. Pencil's Flanker gains 2 draws, or scries 2. Hopefully finds... Oh, hi, Mark. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna take 6. So let's flash this guy in. Okay, main deck Sunspine Links, mono red. Yeah, it makes sense. A lot of people playing non-basics these days. Okay. God damn it. Where's the Jeskai Revelation? Me. I die, because you have a million burn spells. Uh-huh. Rough draws. I did to find something big at the top end, or a card draw spell. My consult didn't find a Jeskai, and that was it. I'll cut 1. Bebe coming in. Kutzel's Flanker's not even terrible, but I don't know if I love it here. I can see cutting it. Tidebinder's pretty good. Just shutting off the Sunspine Links is pretty important. So yeah, maybe I will cut Flank. Oh, maybe I'll cut Teachings, actually. Or Wan Shitong. Wan Shitong's pretty good too. He blocks the flyers. I could see that being a decent finisher. Comes down early. Demands a burn spell. Sorry, I've been playing Pioneer on MTGA, did a bunch of studies to see if it was good. Look up deck text and meta. But I mean, there's no, what deck text, what meta, right? There is none. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, what do you, where are you looking for data? There's no tournaments. And Big Kev what? Said a link? That. No red mana. Type 1, type 2. Nice. Yeah, back in the day, that's what we called it. Timeless and historic. Yeah, I mean, historic and... I mean, I don't know if they're good or bad. They're just not Magic formats. They're like some side game that people play on Arena. They don't exist outside of Arena. Like, I can't really... They're not real formats. Like, they don't... Again, there's no data. There's no tournaments. There's no events. There's the Arena ladder. Like, we don't even have the benefit of MTGO events or whatever to look at. We just have nothing. My only blue mana here. Okay, let's try that. This comes in mountain or forest, right? Okay, so this is going to come in tapped. Bird. Okay. Type 1.5 was extended, right? That's what they called extended. I think, well, that was before Legacy and Vintage were two separate things. They were both type 1. Like, type 1 was Vintage, type 1.5 was Legacy. What the fuck? Oh. Okay. Well, I had to keep my 3 lands here, so that one did come in tapped. Otherwise, I would have been able to kill that guy. Okay, crew 2? Sure. Hopefully they play a 2-drop, and then I can fire magic both their things here. See? Type 1 was Vintage, type 1.5 was Legacy, and then type 2 was everything else, was standard, basically, was the only other format. Yeah. Yeah, untapped results, right. So, like, stuff like that is not good enough. Like, it's just like, when you go to these websites like MTGA Zone, people are just like, but MTGA Zone says it's this. It's like, yeah, but... Where do you think they get their data from? Not from Wizards. Wizards of the Coast gives nobody access to their data. Zero. Impossible to know. So all these websites can do is ask their users to download their software or to report on their websites, like Untapped.gg, which I use. I like Untapped. It records everything. But out of all the Magic players who are playing Pioneer, for example, on Arena, how many of them do you think are using Untapped? A generous estimate would be like 5% of the players. I would be shocked if it was even that high. It's probably like 3% or less. So you take that little 5%, 3%, whatever of data for Pioneer, and it could still be hundreds of players, hundreds of, you know, decks or whatever, or like matches, etc. but it's still a fraction of what's actually being played. So you're just never getting a clear picture of the actual metagame. You're seeing a tiny sliver. And that's the problem. That's it. That's the issue. And that's why you can't take any of that stuff seriously. It's all just big fat grain of salt. Maybe it could be one of those decks that are Untapped is saying is the most winning deck in Pioneer. Maybe that's true, but we have no idea. There's no way to know, right? So the problem, 17 lands, same thing. I mean, 17 lands has tons of people using it, limited players, but it's still a fraction of the limited players drafting on Arena. It's a tiny portion, 10% or less. Like it's why data is really dangerous, because people don't understand data, and data can easily be twisted to make one thing look true or another thing look true. Or my favorite one is violent crime. When violent crime goes up, people eat more ice cream. I don't know how many people know this, but these are facts, nationally tracked, in many democratic countries. Ice cream consumption is directly proportional to violent crime. When one goes up, the other goes up. When one goes down, the other goes down. They follow each other. So you could say that, yeah, ice cream creates violent criminals. That's what, you could say that by looking at the data. But the reality is, it's just pure coincidence. Those things both trend the same because of outside factors like the weather. When it's hot, people eat more ice cream. When it's hot, people commit more violent crimes. That's actually true across the globe. We know when temperature rises, when there's certain things like that, crime goes up. People are more surly. People are more irritable. There's more domestic violence. There are more murders and things like that when it gets really hot. But again, ice cream and murder is not correlated. It just looks that way because you look at the data and it looks identical. That kind of stuff. Correlation is not causation, exactly. So with 17 lands, like, I'm getting into discussions and people are like, but 17 lands says this, as if it's like 1 + 1 is 2, like it's a fact. It's like, wait, what? 17 lands is not fact. You have to take all of that with a big grain of salt. In fact, I don't even look at 17 lands for the first 2 weeks of a format. Just don't even look at it. And then after that, there's some things we could probably say are mostly true by looking at the data. Some things may be mostly false, or you could draw some basic like connections, but even then, I very much hesitate to put my faith in that. But I think for a lot of new players, though, in Magic, when you're a new player, you kind of want the TLDR. You want the shortcut. Like, tell me how to be a good drafter. Oh, I can just look at the data. Oh, I should pick these cards. These ones have the highest win rates. Okay, I'm gonna take those every draft. It's like, no. You're gonna draft terrible decks if you do that. Don't just take the high win rate cards in each pack. You've got to understand, like, you have no intuition for this game, so you're relying on the data, and that's a trap. You can't do that. You have to develop an intuition. You have to learn the fundamentals of the game and understand the dynamics of this game. And then you can draft well. You can build good decks. You can do things. It's going to be easier for you. Just looking at the data and taking the highest rated card, or never playing a card because you think it has a low rating on 17 lands, is bad practice. It's bad practice. You're getting in bad habits. You know what I mean? Bruno, what's up? But it's hard to, because people will say, well, what do you mean? What's the alternative? You want me to like study the game and like actually spend a lot of time learning and practicing and stuff? Yes, there is no shortcut. That's how you do it. I'm sorry. Otherwise, yeah, you can use 17 lands as a crutch, but it's going to make you trip and fall down just as often as it holds you up, I think. Anyway, to each their own. Some people put a lot more faith in the data than others. When you hear pros talk about the data, what the pros aren't telling you is they have intuition. They can take that data and accurately deduce what the data is actually telling them because they're good enough at this game. They understand this game at a deep enough level. You don't. So just because a pro says this or that, or like talks about data, doesn't mean it's infallible. They know it's a guideline. They're not telling you that every time they're talking about it, but you're not a pro. Don't try and do what the pros do because you're operating from a place that you don't have the intuition they have, right? Let's shock ourselves here. Beta Bloombera. Yes, I see. Should I pop this on their upkeep. It's gonna trigger. I'd rather do it now, but I'm pretty sure they've got another play here. We'll see what happens. Bzz. Pie time. It's pie time we end this. What are you gonna play here? Can pay 2 mana for your shoddy counter spell. Phantom Interference. They could have Spell Snare. Kill their own dude. I allow it. Huh. Bold move, Cotton. See if it pays off for him. Kill my own dude, they say. You're not gonna go for that reef, you crazy son of a bitch, are you? That would be bananas. Okay. They would have gotten punished real hard there. I do like one more white mana here. I do want to play a triple white spell at some point. Let's see. Bruto, how's life? What are you posting here? Spurious correlations? What is this? Oh. Okay, I see. Yeah. Burglaries tied to the first name Catherine. I love it. I didn't know there was a site like that, but yes, that is exactly. That's it. That's the one right there. How do I do this? I want to Ultima all of this away. 'Tis awkward. Okay, I'm gonna let this resolve. I don't want to use Get Lost here. I want to save Get Lost for the Restless Reef. I want to cast Ultima to wipe this. But, yeah, if they go straight to combat here, I'm going to flash in the Flanker and see if they kill this. It ties up some of their mana. I can still kill the Curiosity with Get Lost if I want. Presume they're just going to kill this now, right? Scry 2. I need lands. This is coming in tapped. I want both, but I'm only gonna keep one here. I have a stock up. I'm only gonna keep one. I think I'm gonna be fine. Let's do this. I have the what's it called still. What's it called? Inevitable Defeat to get rid of that thing, or maybe another Get Lost at some point. We'll see. And they're out of action, so they're gonna use their mana to map up here. Yep. I'm gonna go for stock up. Oh, you know what's funny? If they actually hit a spell there, it would have gotten rid of the counter, and they wouldn't be able to. Oh no, remove a counter. Okay, I thought it was remove a -1/-1 counter. Never mind. Nice. Go. And I want to kill that Restless Reef here if they give me a chance. I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind, Jim Carrey? Did you ever see this Halo Top ice cream commercial? No. Big Kev, slow down with the links. Too many links, dude. What is this? I have no idea what that is. There's some excellent Japanese commercials that I really like. Okay, I could let them mill me, but let's just pop it now. My ringtone on my phone is the Long Man jingle from Sakeru Gum. The Sakeru Gum commercials are absolutely some of the best viral advertising I've ever seen. And Japan is so good for this stuff. I think it's called Sakeru Gum commercial. They did a series. Yeah. Here. Check this out. The Long Man series of ads on YouTube. It started as this silly, like they have this gum that's really long because it's like rolled up into this like disc, right? Like fruit by the foot kind of, you know, for kids or whatever. I don't know, high school kids. Oh, it's so long. Look how much gum you get. So the whole it's so long thing. They decided to do this kind of skit. Long Man shows up every time this couple they're doing something and the guy breaks out his gum. Long Man shows up in the background and the girl's like, oh my god, it's long Man. And it was so funny. They did a whole series of commercials over like a couple of years, and the story arc is so good. It's like you got to just watch the whole series. It's just a bunch of commercials, but they're all kind of linked. And at the end, the last one is so good. But so I thought it was hilarious. There's another Japanese company that did something similar with this guy who he keeps trying to like I can't remember exactly what it is. Like he keeps trying to buy something, or no, he keeps trying to like DIY stuff that his wife and other people are just like, just buy one on Amazon, the Japanese Amazon or whatever, like something like that. Like just buy it on here. But he keeps trying to do it himself and screwing it up and like hurting himself and all this stuff. Let's bring in Unagi. I'm gonna cut one revelation. I love stuff like that, creative marketing like that, where they have like a series of commercials that are all like in the same vein. They're so funny. There would be no counters. That's right, Big Kev. It would neuter the -1. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Right, it can remove any counter, but the +1 would cancel out the -1, and they wouldn't be able to draw cards off it. I was kind of surprised they mapped on that creature, but they just didn't have anything else going on, I guess. I'm gonna keep this. They're gonna duress me, I'm sure, but that's fine. This is a very duress resilient hand. Redundancy on both ends, card advantage and removal side. Demir's not aggressive enough to punish me before I can drop a sweeper, so they have to take these out of my hand, and but we'll see. Okay, that's pretty good. Thought they'd be leading with duress or something, but okay, no more consults, please. Need to find a piece of removal, would be nice. Takeru Gum. Let's see, I don't know where my try and find my ringtone. This. That. Oh, now it's echoing. Hold on. That's it. And then the saxophone. And he's like, long. And he comes in, he's so funny. So that was my ringtone for years. I haven't changed it since, I don't know, 12 years ago or whenever that series of commercials came out. I guess I'll do this. Am I gonna Helix Nuisance? I don't even think I will. I'm gonna just kill this idiot. That's the long man jingle that I have still as my ringtone, and it makes people get really weirded out when they hear it. Like if I don't have my phone on vibrate and my phone's sitting there, and suddenly it goes long man. He does the whole thing. People look and go, "What the fuck is that? What is that?" And then I enlighten them, and they're like, "Whoa, long man, this is great." Tommy Lee Jones, yeah, he did Oh, hold on, I don't have black, do I? I'm gonna ditch this. He did a Suntory. They make alcohol and coffee and a bunch of different stuff in Japan. He did, yeah. You see his and Boss, yeah. But he did stuff for Suntory too. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger did one way back in the day. You can find some old commercial with him, but those are just boring commercials. Those are just like your average, typical commercial like you'd see in Canada or the States or whatever. The ones that are truly Japanese are the really weird ones, like Long Man. That whole series is so wild. It's such a roller coaster. And this other one, I can't remember the name. Now I've got to find it. It's like this guy. I think he keeps trying to like impress a girl or his girlfriend or something, and he keeps trying to like do shit himself and screwing it up. I can't remember what it's called. Let's pass. But and I'll never remember the name. Let me see if I can find it. Long man. Yes, milk is funny. Sure. Oh, I don't know if I'm ever gonna find it. I don't know. I gotta go find it. I don't know what the company's called. I'm looking at thumbnails, but I don't see it. It was so funny. It was in the same vein as like Long Man. No blocks. Make it Suntory time, yeah. My friend did a tour of the distillery, the Suntory. Japanese whiskey's excellent, by the way. If you've never had Yamazaki or Suntory's okay, but like they have some nice single malt Japanese whiskeys that are like award winning. They're phenomenal. Okay, let's slap. How could she slap? Yeah. Thought you might do that. Yes. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. What are we talking about? Alcohol, celebrities, commercials, what? All that stuff, yeah. Nice. Keep them off that enduring curiosity. Yeah, I allow it. Good, they get a rando off the top. Okay. Cool. How to do this? So that takes care of Kaito. And then what do I just... I need a land here. I want to take Lightning Helix. But that doesn't kill a reef. 6 mana. B. I want to take Watery Grave here. Blank bags. So I defeat Kaito. I can't cast anything else. I think I'm going to leave the Tidebinder back here. Thought maybe they would flash something in on my end step. They did not. Take care of K-Train here. Let's see what they've got. That's 7, so they could end step, kill Tidebinder, untap, fire up Reef, hit me for 5. Oh, now I'm going to 10, right? Oh, okay. That dude. Hey, Wait for Fate, what's up? Yeah, day's going okay. I've got to stop soon here. We're going to have an early ending to the stream, sadly, but I've got to go look at a commercial real estate space and figure it out if it's good enough for us or what we want to do and stuff. Ugh, I hate it. I hate doing this over and over and over. It almost feels like, what's the point? Like, these places are all... None of them are perfect. Like, it's such a pain in the ass. Yeah. Because I'm probably going to sweep here, right? 1 mana. 1 mana away, huh? I could start charts on my main phase, but but you know what? I should have tapped Mistrise. Yeah, it's pretty obvious we don't have a Get Lost here when I don't leave up white mana. Oh, and Jeskai Revelation was the next card? I guess I would have had to charts for a land anyway, so not much I can do about that. I mean, I have the Revelation in hand. What are the odds they have a counter spell here? Little scared. Maybe I should just flank her here. Gain 2. I'm not dead. That doesn't matter. Even if they have a removal spell here, the 2 life will prevent me from dying. And if they do have a removal spell... Oh, okay, that's even better. Either way, removal spell or Tishana's, either way I get to untap in Jeskai Revelation, so... just want them to tap some mana here. Okay, so let's do bounce kill. And now I'm threatening to run away with the game here. Yeah, GG. They know they can't beat the Jeskai Revelation. Wait for Fade. Hopefully life is good. We're going to be watching the Pro Tour this weekend, but I'll be getting into some games as well. Are you still doing Arc things? Arc Raiders? It's been quite a while since I played. Maybe I'll get into some Arc Raiders or something this weekend after we watch, you know, Pro Tour stuff or whatever. Oh, I got a bunch of random packs. Oh, this is the gold pack Bag was talking about? Oh, that's what he was talking about. I don't even know what this is. Wait, when do you get one of these? Or is this like the new vault or something? Sure. Okay, I don't know what's going on over there. Deal. Good, nice. We'll play Arc Daily, nice. I was gonna ask if you were Snapbook Blueprint. Okay, nice. Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't, yeah, because I'm not gonna be, I didn't do the expedition last time, so my character's still chilling. I unfortunately cannot continue to stream today. Like I said, I do have to get going, but thank you everybody who came to hang out. Casino Day was wild today. Let's see who's on top of the wing leaderboard. Dugio with 875. Pretty sure he's going to end up our wing champ again this month unless somebody else challenges him. Candyman is the only one who has even close to enough wings to attempt it, but Dugio, I think, locked it in. He, to his credit, he took on all challengers. He did not shy away, and he beat everybody's ass. I took some wings off him. Everybody else got demolished. So congrats to Dugio. Let's not fully congratulate just yet because he, you know, he could still be dethroned technically, but who do we have here? Who's playing Le Magique Spanish? Wow, spelled or tabletop simulator. That's wild. Portuguese. Control Freak. Let's give Control Freak some love. Give Control Freak a follow. I don't think I've rated him before. I don't know. I don't think I've rated Control Freak before, so let's give him some love, give him a follow, and spam some emotes. DF16 squad incoming. I'm going to post the usual message. You can copy and paste this. If you're a sub, you will have all the emotes. There we go. That's the message I'm going to post. Give him some love. Give him a follow. It looks like he's playing Demir midrange. Boros aggro against Boros here. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll play a little bit more Magic. I'm going to get back to drafting. Again, I don't really care about rank or anything like that. So I'll be drafting again, and then we'll be watching the Pro Tour as it goes and see how the metagame shapes up. But until then, have a great week. I will talk to you soon. Get a slow start with Arc Raiders. You're hooked. Let's play it together, Brimmer, and wait for fate maybe this weekend. Okay. All right. Peace.